Recording.
Hello and welcome to Tales of Athanasia, where a bunch of us, people who are teachers and people who are not teachers, the teachers being the ones that are waiting for the school year to end, sit around and play D&D. Where we last left off, you guys ended up in Euzoria, trying to touch base with familiar people. You found a familiar face in Kathy, and you decided to stay the night at her mansion. Off screen, we have had Chelsea describe all of your separate rooms, or at least all the rooms that were prepared for the ones that she knew about.
Oh, I have not described Bran's or Jareth's yet because they were not here to hear them. So,
Okay.
Bran, the furniture is kind of kept a little bit natural. So instead of like taking the wood and like carving it down, it was left with the bark on it and stuff like that. It's mole person sized, but it's clear that somebody just guessed at the scale, so some of them are a little off. Somebody tried. There are bookshelves populated with books. Most of them are nature related, but there are some magical theory tomes in there too. Nothing super. And Jay, obviously, if I go too far, you can say no because I just kind of ran with it.
We'll say every single one of them gives you at least about a +1.
Ooh, sweet. I did not come up with titles, so that's on you.
I can do that, no problem.
And then one of the walls, the one without the door or any windows, has a large painted black dragon on it. It is big enough that the wings vanish like past the ceiling and floor, like it's like posed like it's flying, and it does resemble Fluffy. And then the last I have
Fluffy.
But
you want to tell us about the other rooms, just so that the folks on the stream can hear that?
Sure. Ronnie's, there's no folks on the stream, but
no, I mean like people who watch the video eventually.
Yeah. Ronnie's is pretty utilitarian because Kathy wanted her to fill it with whatever she wanted. There are some ornamental knives put on the side table. It's like they were set there so that she could grab them in an emergency when she woke up if she needed to, but they're so like ornamental that they'd clearly break if she tried to stab anybody with them. There's an empty chest at the foot of the bed. On top is carved savings. And then a coat rack by the door with a few different hooded cloaks. None of them are magical, but they all have a subtle different color. So a different subtle color. So one is black, dark brown, green, and they have minor like floral embroideries. It's mostly stuff to help her stealth if she decides she wants a different color cloak. Rocky's is all of the rooms are pretty much the same size, but she probably picked the slightly larger room for Rocky. It's still simple and a little empty, so he doesn't break anything if he, stomps around in there. There is a bed. It's got a very sturdy but still surface soft mattress that hopefully can withstand a heavy rock man. Along one wall are baskets full of different kinds of relatively inexpensive minerals. So some are like fool's gold, mica, things like that don't cost a whole lot. In case Rocky wants a minor change in appearance, Kathy does not know if that's how he works. There's a small table with some rough brushes that look like they've been used to scrub stone floor in the past, but somebody put some effort into cleaning them. Mekon's is utilitarian, just like Ronnie's, but every tabletop and elevated surface has small bowls full of shiny or collectible things that are meticulously sorted, so things like beads, costume jewelry, bits of yarn, seeds, acorns, etc. It's like there was not enough space on all the tables for all the bowls, so some of them are on the floor. There's a bed, but there's also some baskets of hay and straw and various collected bird feathers and down and stuff, in case Mekon wanted to make a nest versus just a mattress. There's also a desk with empty stacks of paper and unused quills. I want to wait for Jareth. Or I could just repeat it for Jareth, since we're doing it all right now. Jareth's has a bed, but it doesn't have legs on it. It's like the legs were taken off, so it's flush with the floor, and there's a lot of pillows. Very love den, because apparently that's the vibe that Jareth left Kathy with. There are a few musical instruments that are extremely cheap, but maintained like collector's items. So like if you went to like Mexico for like and bought like a really cheap sombrero, like oh this is a collectible, and like you displayed it, but it's just crappy tourist stuff. In fact, they did come from the tourist shops of Euzoria. None of them are properly tuned because nobody in the mansion is magical. Or musical, rather. So, that is all. Very simple. Kathy tried. She doesn't know how to do gifts, though. So.
That's pretty awesome.
I love it. I love it.
And Yara didn't get a room because Kathy didn't know Yara was part of the party.
Oh yeah, I gotta get that ritual off. I've been preparing for that.
As a matter of fact, I think where we actually left off was where the night has been spent. Not Mikon. Yara and Ronnie have been hard at work. Both of you will need to make. Actually, did I have you make your Constitution saving throws? Oh, I don't think so, because you guys stayed up all night. So go ahead and make con save to see whether or not you were able to.
The natural roll is a 14. I don't. Oh, I did have a +2. Huh. Okay, so 16.
Okay.
I didn't think I had a con bonus, but I do.
Allison, you're muted.
14.
14. Okay. So, Yara is used to pulling all-nighters for academic purposes. Ronnie has had no such training. She has, however, been on the street and slept in worse conditions. So, all things considered, both of you are able to stave off the effects of exhaustion for a one-night all-nighter. You suspect that if you have to do anything strenuous for the remainder of the day, it might be more difficult to pull that off the next night. However, Ronnie, at this point, I think you still had a pending craft check for the poem you intended to write in your own blood.
Yeah.
So let's say that is a tools check. We're going to say this is calligrapher's tools check if you have proficiency in that. Otherwise, it'll be a straight dex roll.
It's going to be a straight dex roll.
Awesome.
19.
Okay. So what you end up with, groggy, rubbing your eyes after the full night's worth of effort. You've planned it out, you've plotted it, you've practiced on several sort of scrap pieces of paper, and you've finally decided exactly how you want this to look. It kind of, you met a couple of snags over the course of the evening because you didn't realize exactly how viscous blood actually is until you started writing with it. You realized that it coagulates pretty quickly. So you had to tap into Yara's knowledge and able to like dilute it just a little bit so that it doesn't dry all quite as quickly as you could use it. But what you end up with is quite a beautiful looking sort of 10-inch long, 3-inch wide poem on very nice looking parchment. And using the materials that Yara had on hand for her grimoire, you are able to produce something that would be recognized by the magical ritual intended to break your curse. So you believe that the effort you've put into that will pay off. If I remember correctly, that means you now have a component for your fear, and you have a component for a thing that you love. Do you have a component? Which one is the thing that you love? Is that the map of Dig Site 23?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what would be, if anything, your component for something you've never experienced?
I don't have anything super meaningful or unique for that. I think the most I would have is the seed that Bran gave me.
Okay.
So at least there would be something instead of nothing.
So the seed that Bran gave you, remind me where that came from and what that's for.
It came from Bran. It is because Ronnie has never created anything.
Oh, so Bran, where did you get the seed? Or did you just grab it from somewhere?
Let's go with that.
Okay.
Just assume that I have seeds.
So just a seed that you happen to have metaphorically symbolic of the fact that Ronnie has never. I'm waiting for Allison to fill in the blanks here.
Created anything. She's never given birth, I guess. That's how women create, right?
Well, that's one of the ways, yes, I would imagine.
I would assume it'd be like an acorn or something like that.
Okay. So again, Ronnie, you get the sense based on the other sort of conversations you've had with Yara that while this is indeed symbolic of something that Ronnie has never experienced, it is a fairly common object, and so your expectation is that while that it would have fulfilled the stipulations required by the ritual, it probably wouldn't offer that much of a bonus, if any. So you're welcome to use it. Just know that it probably won't give you as much of a boost as you would hope. All right, let's see where these rules are once again. There we go. Okay, so again, so we have up to 3 contributions to the ritual via skill checks. So Ronnie has already used her own skill check to create the poem. We would need 2 other people to make their own skill checks. Bran, we're going to say, let's have you make some skill check related to the seed. What sort of skill check do you think would be appropriate in this case?
Survival?
Sure. What would Bran be doing, practically speaking, with the seed?
Basically instructing her how to grow a seed.
Okay.
But
so
I could provide some sort of magical fostering and whatnot, but
sure,
it would have to be her doing it, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, I'll accept that. So your description to Ronnie via Rocky of how to grow and care for a plant, we'll go ahead and call that a survival check. That makes sense.
So you have to water it every day?
Yes.
You see,
That's
life needs things to live. All right, so your survival check there, Bran?
Oh, hold on. There we are. It would be a natural 1. Seriously?
Oh, no.
I mean, it turns out to a 12, but still.
What you're saying is that the seed has to be constantly inundated with water then. That's the conclusion we're drawing here. Great, okay.
Great.
So she'll go ahead and just put the entire seed into a cup of water and then put a lid on top of that, and it should be fine. Then we have...
I don't even know how to druid.
Who would like to make a check for the cartographer's map of Dig Site 23? I think this would be appropriate for Rocky to make some kind of skill check for Rocky, because he actually came from Dig Site 23. What sort of check do you think Rocky would make? I think if you don't have any ideas, I think history would make sense. Because Rocky is a long-lived creature, and the archaeological dig site was intended to uncover history, unless you have a better idea. We can't hear you, Dave. You're unmuted, but we can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. I've got a thing on my mic. I'm trying to think of something that I could use strength-based, but I can't really think of anything.
Okay.
So
I think crumpling up the map probably wouldn't do much.
No. All right, history it is.
All right, let's see what happens.
With my -1. 10, so 9 total.
Okay. You think really hard about where you remember being, and you point to it on the map, and Ronnie very gently moves your finger about 3 inches, and you're like, yeah, there. That's That's where I was. And I remember your cousin, dad. Your dad and his group came in here. And then she moves your finger another inch or two. Yep, that's where they were. They were there. I remember them clearly. So those two contributions having been made, and Ronnie's as well, Yara will go ahead and complete the ritual. She's been spending all night preparing and placing each of these objects into a triangular shape. She will fill in a 6-pointed star with 3 more circles, making sort of an even 6 around the outside. The 3 circles that Yara draws will contain the appropriate spell-breaking runes.
The items of power.
The items of power. Okay. So at this point, then Yara will roll her dispel check based on this dispel ability from the minion sphere. I will get my book to see what that has to be. So go ahead and roll your d20 plus your spellcasting modifier.
Just my intelligence modifier, and then
Yeah, d20 and your intelligence modifier.
okay. Proficiency bonus does not add to that, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so I rolled a 12 plus 5, 17.
Okay. Let me take a look at the dispel ability. So,
Not nearly as good as last time, but hopefully that.
The DC equals 10 plus the spell's level, or 10 plus the number of spell points included. Okay. Right, and we established what that was last time. Okay, I say we. I mean, I did. You guys rolled against it. All right, so your total is what now?
If it's just the die roll plus an intelligence modifier, then it will be 17.
Okay. And win or lose, the curse-breaking check will come down to a d20 roll. The DC, of course, being adjusted because of the successes or failures that the skill checks would provide.
This acorn sucks. It's like explodes. It doesn't.
Okay.
Why is this an explosive acorn? It's probably like a rotten acorn or something. Something you had no control over. Couldn't have known otherwise.
So this says
Well,
the
so it's probably not
DC,
even an acorn.
It's like a rock. It's like a rock shaped like an acorn. Oh, how did I not notice it?
so the DC is 10, increasing by 1 for each previous successful curse that the character has had removed. It decreases by 3. The DC decreases by 3 for each successful contribution. There is 1. And it increases by 1 for every failed contribution. So you are at a total of 9, and I have rolled a 12.
Yeah, so it's
Your hearing, at first, it seems as if suddenly there's another dimension to the world. You've gone long enough without your hearing that you discover now that you started to rely on things like the vibrations around you. You're much more cautious to look in the direction of things that might need your attention. You notice that you've been more sort of reliant upon smells, the other senses being a little bit more attuned in the meantime. And then suddenly it's as if where you didn't have ears before, now suddenly you do. And you can hear Yara chanting her incantation, finishing with the culmination of the spell. And you realize that suddenly your hearing has been restored, and you reach out, you hold her arm, and she stops. And you're like, it worked.
Can you hear me?
I'm gonna be like, I'm sorry, I still can't hear anything.
And as you say this,
Darn.
the cartographer's map of Dig Site 23, the expertly written poem, and the acorn inside of the glass of water all incinerate into so much
Are you sure it didn't work? All the items have been absorbed by the ritual.
No, I'm just joking. It worked.
Oh, thank goodness. I'm exhausted,
Me too.
but at least it's done. That just leaves the remaining curse on Bran, but I'm in no condition right now. We'll have to break that one later.
Well, let me know if you need help.
It's about this time, Yara, that you receive that message that arrived. The housekeeper knocks on the door, passes you the scroll, and says,
Right.
Messenger waiting outside. You break it open, and you hear the message resounding, and I will now play the full version of that message for you. Also, for your own reference, I am about to post that on the classroom. So go ahead and refer to the classroom, and you should be able to read along with the message.
Hello, my name is Tiberius Stormwind from Draconia. I have spoken to my father, Cruvinus, and invoked the ambassador's right of wartime. Know that I do this hesitantly, as I encourage peace, not violence. But under the circumstances, I believe it is my duty to respond to the recent re-establishment of the Dominion Guild in Euzoria. As you must know, the Dominion historically sought to stamp out all who would oppose an unfettered use of magic, resulting in the Great Wizard War. Naturally, this placed the Dominion in direct opposition to Draconia, and the Ajgar in particular, as they had already staked a claim to the words of power, and any attempt to wrest them from their grasp for the consumption of the common folk was tantamount to political upheaval. The war resulted in the displacement of the Ajgar and their families, and they have been forced to live nomadic lives ever since. I implore you, noble archmakers, to see reason and disband the Dominion Guild immediately, as it is an insult to what your wizards have already done to my people. This is a fair warning, a blow across the bow, as it were, that if you do not comply with this request, then war will meet you at your doorstep far sooner than you think, and the Ajgar do not intend to lose a second time. Their memories are long, and their anger has had 400 years to boil over. Please send your concession to these terms via the same messenger who delivered this message. With highest regards, Magus Tiberius Stormwind of Draconia.
So, what do I know of this accord that they're talking about?
Make a history check.
A 21.
Ooh, nice. Because of Yara's specific interaction and history with the Dominion Guild, this is actually a fairly easy check for her. You know that the Great Wizard War is the one that was the conflict that caused essentially the dispute that eventually led to the Cataclysm. It was the thing that was about to consume the entire planet in a conflict, and it was all about basically strong arming the druids into letting the strange language out, sharing it with everybody so that everybody could use magic as much as they pleased, because that, according to the mages, was the birthright of anybody who was a Zoe from the early days of Athanasia when the strangers visited. The druids, of course, said, no, that's a terrible idea, because the second you put anything this powerful into the hands of people who don't have any respect for the natural world or what the strangers' original intentions were, that means that you're all going to destroy yourselves. So the mages basically they divided into camps. One camp basically deciding that it was that magic should be freely available to all, and the other camp believing that it ought to be zealously guarded and protected, and that the druids were right, and that at the time the governing magical council, the Tetrasemblea, felt that it was a very bad idea to release all this magical potential to everybody at the same time. Your guild, the Dominion Guild, is the remnants of the faction that felt that magic should be available to everyone. And so because of that, and because of the knowledge you have of where these words of power came from in the first place, they were zealously guarded by the Ajgar, which, because of you rolled high enough, you know those to be essentially what are considered true dragons. There are dragon folk. Those are baby dragons. People, the dragons who have lived only maybe 100, 150 years. They look like humanoid dragons, but eventually as they get older, they grow bigger and end up becoming true dragons in the sort of mythological sense. So the Ajgar are those few true dragons that remain from 400 years ago, and they were the ones that feel ultimately robbed of their magical prowess and knowledge. It was what made them powerful, that they were so secret. And so the idea that they would be spread abroad meant that their power was then diluted, because anybody could then do the things that they used to do.
Well, it would appear that they're wanting me to disband the guild that we've just managed to reopen. I'll have to consider this. It's not my decision alone. The council decided that the merit of continuing and reopening the Dominion Guild was worth the potential risk, considering the power of the foes that we face. As I'm talking to the character who's not here, because Ronnie's the only other character in the room with me.
Yes. Well, you're welcome to have this conversation with everybody if you'd like.
Yeah, so presumably I gather everybody else. That way I'm not just talking to myself and explain this arrival of this note. Means, as soon as I'm able to, I'm quite exhausted from this ordeal, but we've managed to break the curse that was upon Ronnie overnight. Unfortunately, it took us the entire night to get through. I'm going to need some rest and some thought to ponder on this, on what my next move will be, but most likely I will have to take this to the council. As I said, it's not my decision alone. The Minion Guild was reactivated for a common defense.
Hi, Ronnie. So we're updating everybody on the situation. Basically, the dragons want Yara to disband the Dominion Guild because it's an insult to their history. And Yara's like, well, I'll have to talk to the council about that.
Fuck them.
Long answer. We ain't got time for that. In all fairness, if you try to please everybody, you're going to piss off everyone as well. It's a fool's task to make everybody happy, and we have bigger fish to fry.
This is true, but a group of angry dragons are pretty big fish.
That's true, but the moon is bigger.
They're about to be a group of angry ex-dragons.
Well, perhaps they can see reason. But in any case, like I said...
Do we need to interact with them at all? Because if not, I think... I don't really see... I think this is like problem... We're on problem Alpha. They're problem Z.
Oh, man.
I guess we really only have two problems, I think, at the moment, but still.
Oh, I agree. And if the Dominion Tower were not in the middle of one of the most populated areas in Athanasia, I would be inclined to give them the finger myself, but there are other lives at stake that need to be considered. I don't know what they will do if we don't acquiesce.
As you said, give it to the council, tie it up in bureaucratic red tape, and let us move on. And if they attack and destroy everything, I don't see how we're going to stand in the way of that. I mean, sure, we could Here's what you could do. Rome was not built in a day, nor was it destroyed in... Oh, damn it.
Anachronism.
Yes. Athanasia, Euzoria wasn't built in a day, nor will it be destroyed in a day. So tell them, sure, we'll think about it.
We'll give it a good thought. That was my line of thinking, is to stall them at least and hold it up.
Tell them we put the Dominion Guild is now located on the moon. And if they want to get rid of it, they're welcome to try.
I just give them the Corvian's address. This is where the Dominion Tower is currently located. Please send your. We will not close. Please send your fiery destruction to this address.
And 100 meat pies.
Please come visit.
So I suppose the last thing I do before I pass out in exhaustion, as I probably will here soon, is to get a letter written to the council asking for an audience in regards to this particular veiled threat that has been aimed at the newly cordoned Dominion Guild.
All right.
Essentially, they're threatening me, but they're also basically threatening everybody in Euzoria, because they're going to have to go through all of them to get to the Dominion Tower, and the council has approved of this, so they're basically threatening all the nations that agreed to reenact the Dominion Guild. Reinstate, I should say.
Where is Draconia at?
So, Yara would know that Draconia is actually not really a location. It's a people. It's kind of like saying the word Asgard. It's just wherever the dragons happen to be at that time. So the dragon folk people usually center, the most dense population of them is in the Sinha Desert.
They're just right outside the door, looking angry.
Yeah. But you also know that the Draconians are a nomadic people. So depending on where they happen to be at any given time of year, I mean, they could be literally anywhere. They might literally be on your doorstep.
I guess my main concern is, are we going to have to go through them to get any of the stones?
It's a good question. I don't think any of the ones remaining are in that area, but I could be wrong. I know there's like 3 in the Corvian Mountains. Those are going to be the fun ones to get. Those are the ones that I
thought you already got one of the ones in the Corvian Mountains, so.
Did we?
I thought Yara did.
No, I got the one in the forest.
Well, the Conjuration Stone was located in the forest, but it was the forest located on the Corvian. Actually, now that I think of it, you guys continue talking. I have something for you.
Okay.
We're continuing to talk.
I'm pulling up the map because I wanted to see where it was.
I mean, they are draconian, so they are kind of full of themselves.
I guess it is. I forgot the mountains were down there. So it's part of that area.
Jay, if you can hear me, I'm a little disappointed your message didn't start greetings and salutations.
Dude, don't spoil it.
And the Sinha Desert we haven't been to yet. I was thinking we've been to the Dreaming Desert, but this is a different area, so there very well may be one over there. Well, hopefully they'll bring it to us when they come to raise Euzoria.
I mean, that'd be handy.
Could you do us a small favor on your way to attack us?
No, totally don't bring that thing. It's like our kryptonite, whatever that is.
All right. I'll be posting this in the classroom as well, but for your own reference, I have come up with a new map.
That's the window I don't have open.
Dave, you're welcome.
Thank you. I've been requesting this. Toby needs to go in the cage. Does he have?
What? As we'll say, the minor and major changes you might see, the discrepancies between this map and the previous one, can be explained by the fact that this is a slightly different timeline, and therefore the changes are justified. Kathy will probably have access to this map, which, because she is native to this timeline, makes sense for her to have this. So where you got your conjuration stone, if you zoom in to about center of the map left, a little bit south of Renai Forest, you'll see that there's the Morrigan Wood. And then the physical location where you actually got the conjuration stone was from the red dot marked Woodhenge. And as you can see, that is smack in the middle of the Corvian Mountains.
Mm-hmm.
So that is one of the 3 stones that were purported to be originally located in the Corvian Mountains. The other 2 that you anticipate finding in the Corvian Mountains are the Dominion Stone and the Life Stone.
Well, shoot.
Also, if you'll notice, over to the northeast is the Sinha Desert, the capital of capital. The main sort of stronghold of the Ajgar is called Gar Nahin.
Well, as I said before, I'm inclined to agree with you, Jareth. I would just as soon they go eat sand in the desert than hand over the keys to the Dominion Guild and shut it all down, considering what we're up against. So anyway,
it's either that or you wage a PR campaign that this is a new Dominion Guild. This is not the old one. We have different values.
I'll certainly throw that at them, but I have a feeling that
their entire argument is pointless and moot at this point. I'm a kitty cat. Look at me. I'm casting spells. I'm not a dragon.
So essentially, what's been done has been done, and there's no undoing it at this point.
I mean, that's kind of the stance. I mean, they're upset because Or you can change your name or something. I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't see. I mean, I get that they're upset that somewhere in the past, a guild referred to as the Dominion Guild did something that they did not like.
I'll just respond that they must have the wrong address because I lead the War Guild. I don't know what this Dominion Guild is that they're talking about.
Perfect.
But otherwise, I mean, it's either that or disband the guild. I don't know if that's going to do anything negative. What's the downside of just closing the guild other than you lose a bunch of recruits?
Presumably, if the guild was shut down, all of the tower's secrets would be then put off limits again. There are weapons and magical arcane scriptures that we have not yet been able to access. Is that correct, Jay? Am I remembering that far back correctly?
Yeah. The Dominion Guild does have a basement that is 2/3 of which is literally locked off by an enormous vault door that would be opened the Wizards Tribunal promised when you have restored it enough for those magical secrets to become relevant.
So essentially, we wouldn't just be giving up recruits. We would also be giving up potentially powerful weapons to use. But I digress. As I said, I'm exhausted from this ritual. It has strained me. And it is not my decision to make. The council will have to decide.
Very well. Good night, then.
So I'll send a missive to the council explaining the demands and, of course, my feelings on it, which is that we should not.
You should not disband.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and when you have time and inclination, maybe write that down, put it in a Word doc, and send it to me.
Okay.
Okay, so you send off your reply with the messenger that has been so patiently waiting outside. You find that the housekeeper has brought him into the entryway and given him tea. And she sort of sends him off with a, "Come by again, dear." He leaves. And who's got the highest passive perception?
Not me.
I have 16.
Okay. Over the course of your conversation, Ronnie, you've noticed that Bran, Rocky, Yara, Jareth, and Kathy have all been here listening attentively and being a part of the conversation, whether passively or actively. You notice that you don't know where Hero went. You haven't seen her all morning.
Brandon was also gone.
What room was she staying in?
I don't think she ever actually settled in.
God damn it. Rocky,
You.
your monk friend isn't here.
Why don't you like her? She's pretty cool.
Because immediately upon meeting me, she tried to take something from me.
Yeah, but you try and take stuff from people all the time.
Not really.
Not all the time, just most of the time.
Name one time you remember me stealing from someone.
I don't remember anything.
They were dead at the time.
There was like a man. There was like a mansion, and you were
dead.
like, there was like a mansion, and weren't you like stealing the pictures off the wall or something like that?
No, I remember we were outside that museum, though, and I wasn't stealing the pictures. I was switching them around so the people were getting the wrong pictures delivered to them. But that's different.
Oh, okay. I guess I will go look for Hero with my great both investigation and perception.
Do you require assistance, Rocky?
Yes, that'd be
I'll only
wonderful.
help find Hero if you ask me to.
Will you come help me find Hero?
I will do anything for you, Rocky. Let's go.
Kathy, as you're listening to them, overhearing them having this conversation, do you say anything?
Is this after I saw Hero?
I mean, yeah, this is the morning.
She came back in the middle of the night from somewhere and asked for money. I think she said she was helping somebody.
She couldn't wait a day for me to get her money.
I gave her 4 gold. It seems like it was enough.
Oh, that's fine.
This poor girl.
I
Okay, then.
reimburse Kathy the 4 gold
Okay.
that she will never see again.
Kathy drops it into a dusty cupboard that she doesn't seem to touch much.
Well, can you send a message to her to see, like, if she needs help or something?
Ronnie's having her usual headache.
Hero, where the fuck did you go? Why you taking money from my friends? What are you doing? I'm not even going to give her the full 25 words.
Fair enough. So, Hero, as you hear behind you the snarling, hissing growl of that one individual that you met, come back to play, girlie. You then immediately also hear another voice in your head, Ronnie, saying what you just heard.
I can't remember. Is it? It's a mental response.
Yes.
Oh fuck. Do I know what street this is?
I don't know. Look around. What's your passive investigation?
I mean, I'm not going to bother looking around if this guy's about to punch me. 11.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you know the way pretty organically, like based on like landmarks and stuff like that, but you never bothered looking at the street signs. That was never an issue that you had to worry about at the monastery.
Oh, what was the name of the shop that they are working out of?
Yes. Let me look that up for you.
The ice net or something?
Let me find that. Just a second.
I didn't start taking good notes until tonight, so.
That's totally fine. Okay, the ice net.
Oh, I was right. Sweet. Okay. Oh fuck. The ice net. Lizard folk. Yeah. One word.
So in this world, they would be considered draconians, but these are the ones that have the flightless wings and aren't grown up just yet. So yeah, lizard folk.
Pissed him off. Help. I guess that's it. I don't think she'd be thinking in complete sentences right now.
Right.
And I guess my reaction is going to be dependent on what he does.
Okay, sounds good. I'll text you about that.
Okay. I already apologized to Allison out of game for this.
Hero went and pissed off some dragonborn or whatever they're called. Dragon
folk.
Dragon folk.
Draconians, if you want to be specific.
Thank you.
Oh, well, they're already pissed off about the Dominion Guild, so...
Well, she done pissed off further. I think she's in trouble, I guess. She said something about ice nets. Do I know what that is, being from Euzoria and all?
Sure, roll a history check at advantage because you used to live here.
Alright. 17.
Okay, yeah, you remember the name of that particular shop. It's back the direction you came, just inside of the east gate, you remember the Warren? That was one of the like general store attached to the ale house. It's right next door.
And that's all the way back at the beginning of. Okay, we're gonna have to go all the way back through where we just came. All right, who wants to go with us? No one? Okay, let's go, Rocky.
All right.
I'm coming.
Yara's in bed. What's Bran doing? Oh, Bran, did you have a nightly excursion as well?
Yeah, I went to Hillheart.
Are you gonna sleep?
I went to
I guess.
Hillheart.
Oh, you're there. Okay, great. So yeah, you're not even in this conversation. Great. All right. So it sounds like Rocky, Ronnie, and Jareth are the rescue party. So you all will.
Why are you face palming?
You will navigate your way back to the Warren and therefore the ice net next door. We're going to say, for the sake of expediency, someone will need to roll either a survival check or a navigation tools or cartographer's tools check to represent finding the fastest route through the city.
I can do survival.
Okay.
$14.
14. Okay, so you sort of laid out the map of Euzoria that you have handy, and you find your way to, I believe, the Fate Guild would be the nearest bow. That gets you back the direction you guys came. Let me actually find the... I know I put it into the classroom. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go. Map of Euzoria. There it is. Euzoria city map. Ah, I love that I prepare. Okay, so either the Fate Guild or the War Guild. But anyways, you take a Zebo from the Fate Guild to the Mine Guild, and then you pass the Vulgar Unicorn on your way all the way out to Eastgate. And this will take you, because you rolled well on your survival check, it'll take you about 2 hours through all of the walking. If you would like to get there faster, you might have to pay some money for a carriage to transport you from the Zebos and back.
What's going to be the fastest way?
Probably some horseless carriages.
And how much are they?
Those are... you can find actually. There's an actual... Those are going to be 25 gold per ride. So it would be 1 to get to the Zebo at the Mine Guild. No, at the Fate Guild, and then 1 from the Mine Guild to Eastgate. So that's a total of 50.
And it's coming out of her cut. 50 GP. I'm keeping track of it.
You're the new Mekon of the group. Keeping track of the debts.
It's gonna take a long time for her to get that paid off. I have no money.
I'm taking it out of your cut that you couldn't wait one day for.
As I said, you're the new Mekon. I never paid off my stuff either.
No one ever pays me back.
Nope.
I keep bailing you guys out of stuff and you never pay me back.
It's because we don't have actual money to pay it off ourselves.
You should take paid jobs instead of charity work.
I wouldn't know. My boss never pays me, so.
We're never. That's bullshit. I pay you whenever we can. Who else is going to carry everything around and fence it? Who has a bag of holding? Raise your hand.
I mean, Brand technically has like a portable hole, don't you, Brand?
Yeah, but it's full of dirt.
Full of books and trees, so yeah. A lot cooler than your shit.
Yeah, how much money is he making?
I feel the love in this party.
All right,
right,
let's go.
So how long does it take us to get from the mansion to, what was it, the Ice Net Tavern or something?
So, with the expediency of carriages to and from, you are able to get there in about 31 minutes. Now, the carriage obviously has to sort of groan and strain under Rocky's weight, but all things considered, they're able to like hook up a trailer and they load you into it back. So they get you where you're going. You feel like you've made really good time, considering that normal travel across the city without the Zebo's help is like 4 hours. So you've really made the most of your opportunity to travel as quickly as possible. That being said, you arrive on the main street coming in through Eastgate. You see the stores in question. There's the Warren, and going westward from the Warren, you see there is the Ice Net, another store called the Black Apothecary. You see Smoking's Herbs. You see a stone cutter called the Sixth Sledge, and so forth.
Stone cutter? How dare they?
Outside of the Ice Net, first of all, you see that the proprietor of the Warren's General Store is just now getting in, appears to be frustratedly pulling out his keys, looking in through the window and sort of opening the door, flipping it from closed to open, and then just kind of looking around and shaking his head mysteriously and walking in. Outside of the Ice Net, you see that there are a couple of draconian lizard folk, for clarification, not the ones that have wings and breathe fire, just the regular old lizards. So a couple of lizards, one with what appears to be a metal, like a domed metal cuff on the stump of his arm, no hand. The other one sort of clasping his wrist in a very sort of gentlemanly kind of way, like he's just politely waiting for someone. And on the other side, you see someone who's a little bit shorter, scrawnier, a little hunched over, another lizard folk who appears to have a pair of hands with fingers that appear to be almost permanently curled, but otherwise appear to be completely normal individuals, almost conspicuously normal. And it looks like they're standing on either side of the door, which advertises itself as a dyer's shop, someplace you would come to get clothes or other sort of cloth-made vegetable type materials to be dyed a certain color. You notice that all of the windows have blinds pulled down to the bottom, and that the sign on the door says closed. Okay. If you're interested, there is also, of course, the Black Apothecary next door, and then Smoking's Herb, and so on.
I would like to walk up to the door of the Ice Net and telepathically say, "Hero, are you in there?" And it can go 60 feet. I don't know if she's within that range or not.
Okay, so you walk up as close as you can to the door. It looks like these two lizard folk, one of them is actually very broad-shouldered, huge muscles and so on, the one that has the stump of the arm, and he kind of like looks you in the eye and sort of edges closer to the middle of the door, looks over at the other one, and the sort of scrawny or hunched one shuffles closer to kind of block your entrance. But as you get as close as you can, you send forth the telepathic message. No response.
Excuse me, gentlemen. We are looking for someone.
Oh, you're looking for someone, eh? Well, the shop's closed,
says the big one.
Okay. I didn't ask if it was closed or open.
Well, then why are you talking to us? If you don't want in, then move along.
Son, you don't want any trouble here today.
He kind of pushes the stump of one arm into his bicep on one side and then uses his hand to push the other one up as well. And he kind of gives you this little nod like, bring it.
Can I make both of my hands just turn into spikes?
Sure.
And say, you really don't want to do this. And intimidate him to go away or back off?
Okay, yeah. Give me your intimidation check.
14.
Okay. He looks you square in the eyes and he says, I dare you.
I look back at Ronnie and Jareth.
Now, no need for that. We're all friends here.
Oh. Okay.
I cast Enthrall.
Yes. Okay, what's the save?
Hang on 1 second, I gotta pull it up.
Nice.
Let's see, I will go ahead and make this a greater charm.
Okay.
Creature, let's see, he gets to make a wisdom check, DC 16.
Okay. Is it just one target?
Yes.
All right. Very good. What does Jareth do to make this spell happen?
Like I said, I actually walked up, did the thing for Jedi mind trick, and said, "We can all be friends."
Mm-hmm. Okay, so as he says to Rocky, "I dare you," and you say, "Oh, we can all be friends," and he says, "We can all be friends."
Okay, so he is charmed. Treats me as a friend for the next hour.
Okay.
If you or your allies are attacking or threatening the creature, it gains advantage on saving throws against the charm. We're not doing that.
Right.
We're all friends here.
I can make requests. Asking it to do anything it would not normally do requires a charisma check.
Mm-hmm.
Contested by its charisma. It never obeys a request that was obviously fatal against it. And it can be convinced that dangerous things are worth doing.
So it sounds like you're friendly to it, but it's not going to act against its normal sort of modus operandi unless you give it a charisma check.
Yeah, that's how I would interpret it as well.
Okay. So he says, "Well, friend,
we're just happening to be looking for another one of our friends. Maybe you've seen them."
Oh.
And I describe Hero's character.
Mm-hmm.
The guy, dude, horns, might have been by in a little while.
Horns? Lots of horns, or what?
Just a couple on the head.
Oh.
Here's a tiefling, right?
She just recently got sort of polymorphed into a Kieran, but yeah.
Basically the same thing.
Well, not really. You
No.
can take a look at the image that I posted in the chat.
Oh, I didn't see that. Sorry.
Yeah,
I've
that's
had
fine.
my chat window open while I was
I
dealing
know
with.
that you're not always plugged in because you got baby stuff to do.
Yeah.
But I'll find it and repost it. But yeah, she's been transmogrified, so to speak.
Was it meat chat? Or
Yeah, it's meat chat.
okay.
Here,
Oh, cool.
I've just okay.
Yeah, that. There you go. And then Heath froze. Oh, there he is.
I'm back.
Very good.
You might hang on. I was just saying that Google Meet does not backlog your chats. So if you join the meeting later, I can't see chats that were made prior to me joining.
I'm sorry, I misspoke. I didn't mean Meet Chat. That is what I said, but what I meant was it was in Messenger, Facebook Messenger. So it should be there.
There it is. Okay.
My bad.
Okay. Let me zoom in. Come on, Facebook. What year is this? Okay, see, I describe Hero with the big hair and the one horn.
Right. Okay. So he says, yeah, I've seen somebody like that.
Do you know where they are now?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do. Yeah. Yep.
Where are they?
And it looks like the scrawny one next to the big guy kind of goes, and he said, boss probably wouldn't like it if I said anything.
Boss? What boss? Where's your boss?
She's inside. She's in a bit of a foul mood.
Oh, why is that?
We had a bit of an altercation overnight.
Those can be terrible. What altercation was this? Sounds interesting.
Oh, well, and the guy next to him goes, yeah, no, probably better if I don't say anything about that. You know, reputation and all that, you know.
Reputation is important. Especially when telling stories. Stories can bring a bigger reputation, better reputation, matter of fact. Especially if you have a really cool story about a fight that might have happened sometime in the last 6 to 8 hours.
What?
The altercation?
Oh.
Just sounds so cool.
Well,
I'm intrigued.
It was.
I mean, were you there? Did you help?
I did. Yeah. I was there. The other guy goes, starts edging away a little bit, and he's like, "Whoa, it's fine. He's a friend." No, so just right over here in this alleyway, you see, it involved, and the other guy goes, "Hey, stop it! Shut up, or the boss will get mad again. She'll slap you like she slapped me. Quit talking, you idiot."
I sneak down the alleyway.
Okay, sounds great.
While they're talking.
Ronnie, go ahead and give me your stealth check.
29.
Okay. They seem to not notice you. You head down the alleyway, and you're met about 20, 30 feet in by a large stack of what look to be like just disused crates, empty, stacked on top of each other. One side to the right, it goes across the entire alleyway, so it basically forms this pretty solid barrier. But a lot of these crates are sort of stacked at odd angles, so it'd be very difficult to like climb over it or something. But you see on the right-hand side, it looks like several of the crates have fallen toward the main street, toward you, and you can kind of see through the hole there. It looks like there's splatters of blood. There appears to be the remnants of a sort of a black sort of burst on the cobblestone ground, and you see what look like signs of a scuffle. It's pretty easy to tell because whoever was here didn't do a good job cleaning up.
Is there another entrance into the ice net from the alleyway, or is it just that front entrance?
No, it's just the front entrance as far as you can tell from this side. The alleyway, it's a solid brick wall on either side, and to your right is going to be the general store, the Warren Essentials and More. But the entrance to that is on the front toward the street rather than in the alleyway.
Okay, no windows or anything?
Not that you can see.
Okay. How tall is the building?
You'd say about 40, 50 feet.
Okay.
The stack of crates goes up maybe 20, 30.
Can I climb on top of the building?
Theoretically.
I would like to try that. I think
Okay.
I have grappler's hook and rope.
Ooh, okay. So we'll say roll an athletics check to climb with advantage because of the grappler's hook.
17.
Ooh, nice. Okay. It takes a couple of tries and it's a loud clang as the grappling hook comes back down, but you're able to finally get it latched up top and you start climbing. You're able to make it about 10 feet before you see that there's a pair of sentinels of peace walking past, and they sort of stop and you look to the side and you see that they're staring straight at you. Ma'am, can I ask what you're doing on that wall there?
Yeah, chimney sweep.
Make a deception check. With disadvantage because
That's excuse though to be up.
because you were dressed as an adventurer and not a chimney sweep.
18.
With disadvantage? My heavens. Okay.
Oh, wait. Sorry, you said disadvantage.
Yeah.
18.
Whoa! Nice. Okay.
Nice.
One of them looks at the other and just goes, huh. Well, I guess they have been needing to outsource their hires lately. Very well, carry on. They walk past. About this time, Jareth, you see the same two sentinels of peace walking past you. Gentlemen,
Chimney sweep.
they keep going.
Can't believe that works.
Ronnie, you continue to climb. Jareth, you and the others are still engaged in your conversation. Anything else you want to do? So far, you haven't asked anything specific that might prompt like a charisma check. So far, it seems like one of them has been pretty adamant about keeping the other one from talking.
Right. So what is it that your friend doesn't want to tell me, your new friend, about?
I don't know. We got a lot of secrets.
Really? Secrets? How fun.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't suppose you can tell me what's in that shop behind you, can you?
Well, another one goes, what? Vertika, I swear I'm going to claw your eyes out. Don't make me get out the gloves. He's like, sorry, it would be really not a good idea for me to tell you any of that. Like I said, we should probably get back to work standing here and staring people down. So,
You know, you've had it. What time of day? Is it still evening?
no, it's the next morning. So it's like
Oh.
maybe 9, 10.
You know, have you
Actually,
had breakfast yet?
Breakfast.
Yeah, breakfast.
Oh,
When was the last time you ate?
let me think about that. Well, I had a snack. We got some rations in the back. So, not breakfast per se, but,
Rations. I think you have been working very hard and very diligently at your job. You seem to be doing very well at it. I think you deserve a hearty meal. Here, I give him 10. I give him 10 gold.
Okay.
Why don't you go up the street to the what's the name of that place? The Unicorn. Yes, go to the Volga Unicorn. They have an amazing breakfast there. You and your friend should go.
Oh, yeah. What do you think? Look, I don't like you. And I don't like how you're trying to persuade us to be derelict in our duties. And I'm going to have to ask you, and he puts his hands into either side of his bags, and he comes back out with what looks like his natural sort of claws, but instead they're made of like a very shiny, silvery sort of metal. It's got like dried brown stains on the tips, and they're just very long and accentuated. And he kind of like dangles them in front of you, and he says, "I'm gonna have to ask you to move along."
Those don't look very nice.
Well, they're not. So you should move along.
Hang on 1 second.
The big guy turns to the scrawny guy, and he's like, "No, Eddie, I really think we should go get breakfast." He says, "Vatika, shut up! I'm in charge now."
You're quite, you're quite small for someone who's trying to boss somebody else around. I cast Age. Oh crap! I can't do that. It's concentration.
Oh no!
Let me double check that. It probably is.
I'm enjoying finally seeing some of Jareth's charm spells.
Yeah, this is good. Enthrall is concentration, and you said age.
Yeah, it's part of it's out of the time sphere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's concentration.
Okay.
No. Yeah. Unfortunate. Well, I think it's right. I think you're right, sir. I think it is time for Rocky to punch you in the face.
I punch him in the face.
Awesome. Okay, go ahead and make your attack roll.
We do love clobbering time.
That would be a 29 to hit.
That'll hit.
All right.
It's like pancake his face.
That's what I'm hoping.
Not too much damage though. For 9 points of damage.
Oh yeah. Solid punch straight to the face. The lizard folks like right in his face, just kind of like caving a little bit. You can hear as his cheekbone kind of collapses. Roll initiative.
It's pretty good.
Do we want to take a bathroom break real quick?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get initiative down, and then we'll pause and come back. All right, so 25-20.
No.
I guess we don't have too many people, so who's got what?
13.
I heard 13 from Ronnie. What is it, Rocky?
18.
18 and
6.
oh man. All right, so we have Rocky at 18. We have Ronnie at 13. We have the lizard folk at 11, and we have Jareth at 6. All right. And on that note, we will come back around to our fight on the doorstep of the ice net in about 5 minutes.
I actually have to step away just for a minute, but that's okay.
No,
Sorry.
you're literally up first, man.
All right, I'll do that and then I'll step away.
All right. So you deal 9 damage to Eddie, the lizard folk, which Hero and I have, or Chelsea and I have agreed is Eddie Lizard Hands.
Oh yeah,
Eddie Lizard Hands.
forgot.
He's taken 9 damage. And Rocky, you're now at the top of the initiative order. What do you want to do?
Full attack round. 17 to hit.
Okay.
Another 7. Sorry.
I was going to say 17 will hit.
Okay, I got another 17
Mm-hmm.
and a 15.
Ooh. Okay, all of those will hit.
All right. That's 6, 7, 13, 23, 38 points of damage.
Nice.
38.
Mm-hmm.
So 47 total. Eddie Lizard Hands is still up.
Yep.
So you pummel him with your massive meat fists, and he takes it to the one cheek, to the other cheek, then to the gut, and you can hear the tinkling as his claws sort of like flail around in the aftershocks of your mighty punches.
Yeah.
That's the end of your turn. You gonna move?
Nope. I think, yeah, I'll end my turn there.
All right, sounds good. Ronnie, you're up. You are on top of the building at this point.
I'm assuming I hear the commotion though out front.
Yeah, 100%.
When they were standing on either side of the door, was the door shut or was the door open?
Door was shut.
Okay.
All the blinds were drawn and it had the closed sign.
Are there any entrances on the roof into the building?
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
I'm going to use my goggles.
Yep.
$27.
You notice that there is a well-concealed trapdoor in the southwestern corner, so the one that's closest to the front and further away from the general store. It looks camouflaged, specifically a blend in with the roof, but you're able to see the telltale sort of outline of what you have. You've seen these kinds of trapdoors before. They're pretty common among the Thieves Guild, so you anticipate you could pretty easily figure out where the mechanism is to disarm if you need to.
Okay. Okay, so I found the door. Can I check it for traps?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead and this will be like an actual action.
That's fine.
Investigation.
20.
You see integrated into the where the handle would be after it's unlocked. There's like there's sort of a seesaw kind of mechanism where you would push down with your thumb, and that becomes like it lifts up a handle. And you know that on the underside, as you sort of poke down on that a little bit, you're able to see that there's like a spool of barbed wire that would probably it's spring loaded. So unless it's unlocked first, it would pop out and tear up the hand of whoever was trying to grab it, and then ensnare them.
So it needs to be unlocked first and then disarmed?
Correct.
Okay, I'm going to use my bonus action to unlock.
Okay. So go ahead and make your Thieves' Tools check.
Natural 20.
Woo, okay.
So 30.
So as you whip out your tools, you twirl them in your fingers like a gunslinger, and you begin immediately going to work. This lock is literally the exact same lock as one that you've attempted to unlock previously. This shop has been owned by several people, and this is one of the reasons why you recognize the shop name is because you've broken into this place before as a kid. And so you literally are like, oh yeah, I remember this thing. And you go at it, and within seconds, you're able to, and you hear the spool kind of go zzz, and like retract. And you know that you can very easily just open the door at this point.
Nice. So that's probably my turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you move over to the trap door, you unlock it. That was Ronnie's turn. Lizard folk will now go. The one Eddie Lizard Hands is going to attempt to slash. We're going to say Jareth because Jareth has been the most annoying thus far. He's going to go ahead and use a special ability. Oh, actually, yeah. So he's now going to swing out wide with both claws, both metallic claws, and he's going to attempt to knock all creatures within 10 feet of him down as he uses his claws like grappling hooks. So he will swing out, and then at the right moment, they will like basically eject from his hands and wrap around you, and he pulls them back. So go ahead and make a DC 13 strength saving throw, both Rocky and Jareth.
19.
You're fine. What's that, Heath?
You're muted.
I can't hear you. Okay, he's coming back.
He said 12.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Jay, is that considered a melee attack?
no, actually, it's just an ability.
Okay.
So what happens is the one claw extends from his hand and wraps around Rocky's forearm, and he just kind of goes and like holds onto the forearm, and Rocky just kind of goes, and it slides off because he's made out of gemstones, so there's nothing to really hold on to. And then Jareth, it wraps around your feet, and as it retracts, you feel your feet being pulled out from under you, and you fall to the ground prone. In response, I'm going to go ahead and give Vertika a saving throw at advantage because you are attacking him and his friend. What's your DC, Jareth?
16.
Okay. So Vertika kind of goes, "Hey, what are you doing? You shouldn't be here." And so he'll leap on top of Jareth, taking advantage of that opportunity. And you see that as part of his movement, he will reach to the side and draw, like a sword, this long, curved blade that appears to, again, just like his buddy, to be stained with brown at the edge. And you notice that it doesn't have a handle. And instead, he just mashes it into the stump of his arm and clicks it into place, and then swings down on top of Jareth. Let's see. What's your AC, Jareth?
14.
All right. The first attack will hit. The second will swing wide as you sort of maneuver out of the way, and it looks like it now smacks into his friend's the wire that keeps his friend's glove attached to his hand, and that wire then snaps. The first attack, however, does a total of 10 points of slashing damage as it slices into you. And that's the end of the lizard folks' turn. Let's give those inside. Okay, that happens. And Jareth, it's your turn. Still muted, buddy.
Yep. Okay. I will go ahead and stand up and cast haste on Rocky.
Okay.
I'll dump the 2 spell points into it so that you also get an additional attack. So, hang on, let me get you. Rocky, your speed is doubled. You have +2 to AC. You advantage on Dex checks, and you gain an additional attack, dodge, dash, or disengage.
Ooh.
Okay, sweet.
Mark that down. I cast a spell, therefore I also get to make an attack.
Ooh.
So I'm going to lash out with my rapier.
Are you attacking from prone or you want to stand up?
I already said it. That was the first thing I said was I stood up.
Very good.
Does a 24 hit?
Yes.
D10. Six points of piercing damage.
How many points of piercing damage?
6.
Okay. So we've got Vertica taking 6 damage. Excellent. All right. You stood up. That's half your movement. You want to move more or just stay where you are?
I will take a position. Well, I don't know. Are we kind of standing side by side, facing each other?
I mean, yeah, it's the 2 bouncers at the front of the door facing you 2 facing in.
I will go ahead and step. No, I'll stay where I am. Yeah, I'll just stay where I am.
Okay. That's Jared's turn. Bottom of the round. Couple of things happen all at the same time. Number 1, you immediately notice that the 2 sentinels apiece that wandered past earlier turn around and they see the commotion and they say, excuse me, sir. I do believe that you are attacking citizens of our city. You will need to pause at this time. Please stop attacking. This is assault. You need to stop immediately. They will charge in and draw their weapons and shields. Well, they don't actually have shields. Yeah. So each of them will come in and approach each of you in melee, essentially on the other side of the lizardmen. And they will they'll tap the butt of their staves on the ground. And you'll notice that the entire staff then shrinks to something the size of like a sword hilt. And the eyes of the dove that rests on top of their staff will then spread its wings, and energy beams will emerge from the eyes of this dove and then merge together into a point to effectively create a lightsaber out of the dove's eyeballs. And they will both stand behind you and wait, holding their action to see what happens next. Second, at the end of the round, Hero, go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
Shit, hang on. I wasn't ready for this. Ooh. 14.
Okay. You successfully save against the dust of unconsciousness that was used on you to knock you out. You wake up and become aware of your surroundings. You attempt to quietly sort of take stock of where you are and what you're experiencing so that you don't alert anybody or anything nearby. You realize that you are surrounded on 3 sides by scaly lizard legs, and then against you, or that I say against your back, you know that there is a wooden wall of some variety. You're in a chair, your hands and feet are bound to said chair, and you're like neck has this huge crick in it because it's been sort of laying sideways for a while, something in the neighborhood of 30 minutes. And as you sort of start breathing more heavily, the others are going to see whether or not they notice you. One of them turns and looks in your direction and says, "Hey." The other two kind of look down and they say, "Oh, we better get Maggie." "Nah, don't bother her. She won't like it." "Well, knock her out again." "Yeah, good plan." So go ahead and roll your initiative and we'll see how quickly you react.
Cool, great. I always roll great initiative. 15?
15! Excellent. So Hero will be acting this round on a 15, which happens to be before the lizard folk. So well done there. Rocky, we're back up top with you. You have an additional attack and your speed is doubled.
Okay. I'll say, constabulary. They have kidnapped our friend and are holding her inside. And then I will punch the guy again.
Oh. Well, first, let's go ahead and have you roll.
I love Rocky so much.
I don't know that Rocky would actually know that, so I think we're going to make this a deception check because
I don't know what's going on for sure.
Yeah, he's convinced of it, and he's going to make sure that they know that that's what's going on. So make a deception check.
6.
Cool. They're like, what evidence do you have of that, sir? No, please do not attack that man. And
I'm already attacking him. So when you say I have an extra attack, does that mean just like a base attack, just one attack?
One attack.
Additional action.
Okay. So I'm going to make 4 attacks against this guy that I've already hit.
Right. So Eddie Lizard Hands is going to take some punches to the face.
18 to hit, 29 to hit, 27 to hit, and 25 to hit.
Did you say that first one was 8?
18.
18. Yeah, they all hit.
Yeah. 6 plus 9 is 15. Plus another 9 is 24. Plus 5 is 20. 28. Plus. So 48 points of damage.
Okay. Let me bust up my calculator here. 48 points of damage, plus the 47 he's already taken.
So okay. 95, I think.
Minus his total hit points.
Yeah, 95.
Okay, great. Well, he's not instantly dead, but he does fall unconscious immediately. You cave in his skull.
Okay. And then, yeah, I guess that's it. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay, cool.
Let me know how many hit points I get hit for in chat.
Sure. Oh, before you leave, Dave, I will also say, make another tick toward evil. Or no, in this case, chaotic.
Okay.
Because you've been asked by law enforcement to cease and desist and explain the situation, and then you attack, regardless.
I mean, I tried to explain to him.
Yeah. All right. That brings it to Ronnie. You have successfully unlocked the trap door.
All right. I'm going to try to disarm the trap.
Okay.
That thieves tool check also, right?
Mm-hmm. All right. Yes. So you failed by 5.
Stop.
You take 8 points of slashing damage as the barbed wire wraps around your wrist and arm, and then you need to make a strength saving throw as it attempts to entangle you.
Uh-oh. Okay. Ugh. 3.
Okay. You are restrained.
Cool.
That was your action. Or was it your bonus action? Can
That
you
is
do
my
that?
bonus action.
Okay, what do you got?
Okay, can I just teleport out of the restraint?
You know what? I don't see why not. Sure. Yeah.
Boop.
Where do you go?
No longer restrained. Okay. All right. I'm going to open the trap door while everyone's distracted out front, and I'm going to try to sneak in through the top and see what I can see.
Okay, so there's the minor problem of there still being a triggered trap, essentially. So if you want to reach in and use the handle, it's going to chance getting stuck again. Because now at this point, the spool of barbed wire has basically expanded and created a protective barrier, and so it's ready to snap shut again around your hand if you attempt to use the handle.
Okay, what do I need to do?
I'm going to say this will be like a dexterity saving throw. Not saving throw. Dex. Yeah, I mean, just like a dexterity check to see if you can get your hand in, open the latch, and then get your hand back out again before it snatches you.
Dex check. 10.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to use my inspiration.
Okay.
14.
Great. The DC is 15.
Damn it.
Yeah, sorry. You take 2 points of slashing damage, and go ahead and give me another strength saving throw.
14.
Okay. The DC is 15. Unfortunately, get restrained again as the barbed wire now sinks back into your arm.
Okay.
So that's Ronnie's turn. Lizard folk.
Was I on 15?
Oh, that's right.
This round?
You were 16. Go ahead, hero.
I mean, not that I can really do much. Well, can I target myself? Because I can't punch anybody.
You want to target yourself with a punch?
Kind of. I want to place a glow on myself.
So, if you recall, one of the things that are required in order to use your magic is that you have to use your whole body, and right now your body is restrained.
Yeah, you're right.
So you wouldn't, even if you were able to punch something, you wouldn't be able to trigger your magic.
Yeah, you're right. I don't want to get knocked out again, so I guess can I try to? I'm in a chair.
Yeah, so this will be an athletics check to break the chair, or the bonds themselves, or you can do an acrobatics check to wiggle your way out of them.
I'll try an acrobatics check.
And this will be opposed by the roll of the person who bound you to the chair.
Well, that's 10 because I rolled a 2.
Cool. Yeah, this person apparently tied the ropes better than you were able to wiggle.
Cool. Can I use my bonus action to shout?
You can use a free action to shout, of course.
Well, I'll do that.
Okay.
I don't know.
What do you shout?
Huh?
What do you shout?
Have I heard any of the commotion? I guess I just woke up, so probably not.
I mean, you did just wake up. You roll me a perception check at disadvantage.
10.
It's kind of muffled. You do hear something happening above you, but it's hard to make out exactly what it is. It could be people talking. You're not sure.
Okay, then I will just shout, "Get away!" at the guys around me.
Sure. All right. So the 3 lizard folk surrounding you, we'll go to you first because you're there, will now attempt to hit you while restrained. What's your AC?
18.
2 of them successfully hit. They will deal non-lethal damage.
How nice of them.
I didn't add those. Okay. I'll just roll again. Okay, so that's great. They don't want to waste another dose of knockout gas on you, so they're going to go ahead and just beat you unconscious. 35 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh, jeez. Well, they failed.
All right. What does that put you at in terms of hit points?
18.
Oh no. Okay. So one of them isn't able to actually make contact with you, but the other 2 they just take the butts of their weapons and start bludgeoning you. Fall asleep. Maggie won't like it.
Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
Go sleep. That brings us to the lizard folk outside. They will actually not attack. I say they. He, the remaining one, Vertika, will actually immediately unlock his sword, and he will throw it to the ground with a loud clang, and he will use his action to disengage and step away from the both of you off into the street and then around behind the 2 sentinels apiece. And they said, officers, this one charmed me, and then the other one punched my friend. We were just standing in front of the store. It's closed today. We're trying to keep people out, but these 2 accosted us. Gonna make a persuasion check. Probably an advantage because all of those things are true. The constabulary seems dubious. That brings us down to Jareth.
Officers, please help. These men, they took our money. I was just trying to buy them breakfast. And we're looking for our friend. She's been missing all night. I'm very worried about her.
All right. All of those things are true. Go ahead and roll your persuasion check and advantage.
That's a 28.
Oh, dang. The Sentinels of Peace look between you and the lizard folk, and they see the unconscious body of the one that Rocky just pummeled, probably to death. We're going to need to bring everybody in for questioning. You all are going to have to come with us. We'll need to get that man to the healers.
But there's more inside.
Well, I would imagine so. They run the place. Jones, help this man go fetch the healer. Go fetch the healer. Oh, yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah, Frank, no problem. So this other one will sort of march off around the corner, and he will watch the rest of you, and he says, all right, none of you move. None of you move. We're going to have to sort this out down to the station. That brings us to whatever else Jareth would like to do before the end of his turn.
Okay, it's just my friend's inside, and I'm so worried about. And I'm gonna run. I'm gonna go in the door.
Okay. So you just run up to the door, turn the handle, and open it.
I'm gonna try.
Okay, it's locked. Make a strength check.
I'm gonna use my daily roll from the mandolin.
Ooh, what was that?
16. So that's an 18 total.
18 total. You were able to attune yourself to the threads of fate this morning, and when you did so, you felt this thread throughout your day pulling you in this direction. And as you hold on to the handle of the door. It feels right. As you turn it, it feels right. And as it turns out, your strength is so mighty that you are able to push through this relatively misused lock. And
This is literally the first strength-based skill check that Jared has succeeded on.
luckily, it was a weak lock. I mean, they didn't do too much to prevent entry because they had a couple of guards outside. But yeah, so you're able to push through and jiggle the lock a little bit as you do, and you pull the door open. You still have movement left. You want to keep going? Oh no, you're muted.
I'm gonna keep going, and I'm just gonna go like 10 feet in, and I'm gonna be screaming hysterically, "Hero, where are you?"
Okay, do a performance check. That's great.
I love your panicked wail.
Yes.
15. I'm
Nice.
failing on the mute button.
Well, that's okay. All right. It looks like everybody inside buys your story, with the sole exception of one individual. It looks like there are two lizard folks standing at the bar talking to each other. Not the bar, sorry, the counter, the service counter. Inside, you do see, well, the first thing that hits you is the smell. There is an enormous sort of waft cloud of dying sort of unguents and other materials that would be used to make clothing different colors. You see that
Rotting
they're all
flesh.
sort of, well, yeah. So there are clotheslines along the wall, almost like flags, sort of displaying the things that they've dyed all the different colors. It kind of looks a little bit like Reliant Apparel, where they have all those things on display, and it shows you the different colors that you can actually Chelsea coughs that you can buy. Oh, this green and that green and this red. They're all labeled and such. But the lizard folks standing at the service counter now turn in your direction. They're like, and it looks like you've got their attention. That they believe, despite the fact that they were the ones who actually captured Hero, that this person needs to be helped. Wait, Hero, wait a second. We know that person. But the person who isn't fooled by this, you see coming. Pushing up the little dividing counter that's on hinges, you see coming in through from behind the counter this halfling, what looks like maybe a very young woman or a very old child. You're not entirely sure, but has sort of curly blonde hair, large green scaly bow on a headband on her head, and where you see she ought to be standing, instead you see that her legs have been clamped in with these metal guards into a harness, and that harness is standing on the hardwood floor with 8 mechanical, spindly, spider-like legs. She has a little joystick, and she begins to move it in your direction, and she says, pointing a thick, childish finger at you, "Get him, boys! Tin Trick Maggie's not having any of this nonsense." And that brings it to the bottom of your turn, I believe. You, at the bottom of the round, things happen. Yes. Maggie will turn to a little metal latch, and she'll undo the metal latch, and she'll look inside and turn a dial to a certain place, and then press that dial in. And as it does so, you see a pair of vats in the back of this room start to foam and froth, and immediately this enormous cloud of smoke erupts out of the vats. So everybody in the room who is not immune to this effect, which would include Jareth, will need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Is this poisonous?
It is a poison, yes.
Okay.
21.
All right. You smell that stench you were smelling earlier, the dying chemicals, and you recognize this as that, but stronger. So apparently they've been rigged to explode and vaporize, and you feel that scent now clinging to the inside of your nose and your lungs, but your body thankfully is able to resist the effects of this. You do not fall unconscious. you fight it, and you kind of shake your head, and you realize that another dose of that, and you probably are going to end up in a bad spot. Bottom of the round, the Sentinel of Peace that ran off, we'll say arrives there in my brain, and the other one is going to say, "All right, you, big one, you going to come quietly or not?"
Probably not. I mean, they've got our friend in there.
Well, that has yet to be proven. We'll investigate, but this man's dying right now.
Okay.
So you coming
People
quietly?
die all the time.
Oh no! Rocky's evil streak is coming out. Oh, this is great. Okay. Let me see how he responds to that. He suddenly starts to get a look on his face as if he didn't expect that to come out of your mouth. And he's starting to get a little nervous about the fact that he's standing next to an 8-foot tall gemstone elemental that has just beaten a man to death with literally his bare hands. That's what happens on the bottom of the round. Hero is already awake, so nothing else happens there. Rocky, you're up top.
Okay, so the one that I punched a lot, was that the smaller one of the two?
That was the scrawny dude with the claws. Yeah, that was Eddie Lizard Hands.
Okay. Can I pick him up and run inside and throw him at the other lizard folk?
Oh no. Okay. Sounds great. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. What do I need to do for that?
I mean, he's well within your strength threshold, so I'll just say make a ranged attack.
Okay.
I want to stop this, but yet I don't.
I know. Rocky is turning out to be pretty brutal. I mean, he is the incarnation of the Destruction Stone, so.
I guess that's just 14.
Okay.
It's going to turn into the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
That's the new one.
Boo.
I don't know whether to give you inspiration or take it away. We'll see. It's a wash.
That's not what you think it is.
Okay. Yeah, so you throw Eddie at his two companions inside, and they both see Eddie coming, flying through the air, and they dodge out of the way at the last moment. Eddie cracks against the service desk and slumps to the ground yet again.
Right. Sorry, I should have clarified. I want to do that as a demoralizing move.
Oh, okay.
As I'm running in.
Fair enough.
And at this point, I think I want to use my bonus action to rage.
Okay. So roll your intimidation to see whether or not what effect that has on the lizard folk inside.
All right. With advantage.
Well, I mean, you did throw in a dead companion of theirs, so sure, I'll give it to you.
Probably don't need it. That is a 25.
Holy crap. You see that the lizard folk standing by the counter immediately drop their weapons. One of them is holding a crossbow. The other one's holding what looks like a blunderbuss, and they just toss it to the ground.
Okay. And in my rage, I want to yell, "Where is Hero?"
You'll probably have to yell that beforehand because while you're raging, you can't speak comprehensibly.
Okay.
Yep.
Then I try to yell that.
Yeah. You end up coming off as "Wah!" Seems reasonable.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfectly reasonable.
Yep. Okay, that was Rocky's turn. Ronnie, you're up. No, sorry. Hero, you're at 15.
Oh, fuck. Oh, did I hear the crashing from wherever I am? And Jareth's screaming and Rocky's guttural snarls.
Yes. Yep, that's going to be pretty hard to miss, even a 4.
Can I do one of those whistles that's like so shrill because like you just put all your energy into it and just let loose with one of those?
Are you wolflessing at Rocky? That's I don't know.
Probably
about
not two-toned. It's not a...
Um,
just one.
unfortunately, your mouth is really dry.
All right. Well, I guess the only thing I can really do is try to get out again, so I'll try
Okay.
that.
All right, so this is a acrobatics or athletics?
I'll do acrobatics.
Okay. I've already rolled for the DC, so I know what that is.
Ooh. I forgot what the first number was. I think it was, I'll just roll it. Non-natural 20.
Okay. So apparently by smacking you around a little bit, they happen to dislocate your shoulder and you're like, and you kind of wiggle a little bit and you get your arm out and then you snap it back into place. And they all kind of step back like a pace and are like, and you're now free of your restraints.
Was that my action? I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
What's this room? Obviously it's not the main floor.
Correct. So you actually are, so it goes, the wall behind you, the chair you're sitting on, a couple of people on either side, one in front of you. Past the one that's in front of you, you see a stack of barrels and sort of like labeled dyeing chemicals and things like that. You see a couple of overturned empty vats that a person would probably put like water or other chemicals and stuff into for the dyeing process. You see several spools of rope on the walls, and in the middle, not in the middle, to the left, in between all of these stacked up sort of items and supplies, you see that there is actually a path. As you look up above the stacks of barrels, you can see that there are what amounts to like the underside of a floor. So you anticipate that you're in either the basement or some sub-level of the building. And then you see just a hair of the staircase that goes up into the main area that has been with a trap door that's closed.
Okay. Is there any way? I think I did use those on one tree, didn't I? I don't have much I can do with the bonus action, so I'm just gonna have to try to maybe get past one of them to the stairs if I can.
Okay. So you emerge from your bonds and you move out of melee range of 3 lizard folk.
Yeah, it's just probably gonna go night, but that's all I can really do with that.
All right, let's see what happens. These guys. That's a natural one.
Oh, no.
That's good.
So this is okay. Oh no. The one that you're attempting to move past, like the one to your left, he raises his weapon to bring it back down on your head, and as he's pulling his arm back, you just push on his hand a little bit, and the weight of his own weapon causes him to fall backward and prone, and you're able to get past him. The guy next to him, though, takes advantage of your movement and actually does hit you, and the third one waves his arms ineffectually. The one guy who hits will deal that. You take 11 points of slashing damage as his natural claws actually rake across your back, and you are able to move 30 feet, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You're right almost to the base of the staircase that leads up.
Okay. I'm not unconscious.
Yeah.
I don't by chance see my staff down here, do I? I just got.
What's your passive in no?
Passive
perception. We'll call it passive perception.
15.
It was sitting in the corner as you were passing by the dude you knocked over. You can grab it if you want.
If I can grab it on the way out, or on the way past, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they didn't expect you to get out of your bindings that quickly, so they just put it right next to you. Okay, so that brings us down to Ronnie, who is now still bound in the razor wire trap on the trapdoor.
Is there an actual chimney in this place?
It wouldn't make sense if there weren't, so I'm going to say yes.
Okay. I'm going to teleport to the chimney.
Okay, so you bamf away from the trapdoor out of the binds, and do you bamf like on top of the chimney kind of situation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not to like fall in, to like stand on top.
Sure. Let's see. Oh no. Okay. How to interpret this? Okay, so luckily the chimney is large enough to accommodate you. However, it is also burning hot, as it has been recently used and still is being in use. And number two, it is also in severe disrepair. Go ahead and roll a dexterity saving throw.
Saving throw?
Yeah.
21.
Okay. You hear the like ceramic tube that you're standing on basically just crack and go and lean to the side a little bit. You're still stable on top of it. You're balancing just fine, but you suspect that the longer you stay here, the more likely it is this thing is going to snap in half and fall over. Also, because of your dexterity saving throw, you're able to sort of like navigate your way to a part of the chimney that doesn't immediately burn your feet. So it's like there's a couple of sort of thicker spots that you're able to stand on without burning yourself.
Okay. I'm going to drop a smoke bomb down there.
Ooh, nice.
Just
Okay.
going to add to the chaos since it's too hot to go down.
Yep. What does the effect of a smoke bomb do?
I don't know. I got it before Corbin was a thought.
Okay. We'll say it creates darkness within a 30-foot radius.
Okay.
For a round. All right, so you drop it down. You hear it go. And now Rocky and Jareth inside of the main room are able to see. Well, first of all, you hear this. And then as soon as it hits the fire in the fireplace, it explodes. And this huge cloud of darkness erupts and goes around everything. And I would say 30 feet, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, that's pretty much the whole shop, at least the part that you're in. So reaching all the way out to the edge of the doorway where you guys are, everything is now covered in darkness. Ronnie, anything else?
I'm going to yell out to the Sentinels of Peace.
Okay.
Like, Sentinels? I thought I heard a lady screaming in this building. Is everything okay?
Okay. Make your deception check.
Uh, 23.
Okay. So Rocky has gone inside. All right. The Sentinel responds appropriately, but not verbally so. And because all of you are either enveloped in darkness or out of line of sight, you don't know how they respond. So yes, you've done that. Great. Anything else, Ronnie?
No.
Okay. On the bad guy turn. Those two lizard folk. Okay. Rocky and Jareth, you feel a pair of stumbling and bumbling lizard folk basically knock past you as they're on their way out the door. And then you hear the halfling woman in the mechanical spider chair swear, and she will Cool. Yeah. Jareth and Rocky, what are your ACs?
21.
14.
Oh, wait. Am I still hasted?
Yes.
23, I believe.
Okay. Jareth, please roll a 6-sided die and tell me if it's odd or even.
Odd.
Okay. The sound of unspooling and whipping razor wire erupts from the location where you remember the lady in the spider chair being, and you hear her saying, "I said I don't like interlopers!" And you feel the razor wire now wrapping around your legs and arms and kind of ensnaring you. Go ahead and make a strength saving throw.
$19.
Okay. Your 19 is enough to pull yourself out of it, but over the course of you attempting to pull...
Oh, wait, sorry. That I was just adding my modifier. That's a 22.
22 will succeed. So with your 22, you're able to pull yourself away from the razor wire. As it basically slides across your flesh, you will also take 20 points of slashing damage, but you are not grappled. And then you hear the of retreating mechanical spider leg steps as the halfling in the chair, you assume, is moving away from you. Then the lizard folk in the basement, 1 stand up and 5, 10, 15 not be able to reach you. The others will push past him 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. One will reach you. And apparently a bit off balance because they have to keep going back and forth around each other and around the barrels and such. Swings wildly with another set of natural claws and does not hit you, Hero. So that's 2 on the inside, the 2 on the outside. Oh, yeah. So, dude, what does dude do? He's angry. So you hear, Rocky, behind you, you hear, "Officer, there appears to be some trouble inside of this establishment. Permission to engage in combat and defend my workplace." The sentinel says, no more violence. Stop. You sit there. You all inside. Come on out peacefully or there will be consequences.
UK police.
And then that brings it down to Jareth.
Okay, so does the smoke bomb go off here?
Yes.
So I can't see.
Until Ronnie's next turn, this area is in darkness.
And do I still detect the odor of a chemical agent?
You do. All that tells you is that it's still in the air, but it's not to the degree that you would have to make another save.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and move in the direction of the counter.
Okay.
I like how there's just like a ghost hand.
Yeah, I'm gonna move in the direction of the counter
Okay.
until I can get out of the smoke and see where I'm going.
Okay.
Is there like razor wire just all across the floor?
Yeah, but it doesn't pose enough of a challenge. Like, it's not going to hurt you. You'll just encounter it with your legs and keep moving.
Okay, so yeah, I'm going to move, I guess, 30 feet up to the counter.
Okay.
Or can I
it's
see where we're at now?
It's about 20 feet to the counter. You are stopped by the counter as well as a slumped over unconscious body of a lizard folk. And you remember seeing where the halfling woman emerged from around the counter. You could probably navigate your way around that direction if you wanted to.
Okay, yeah, I'll go ahead and double move to continue to pursue.
Okay. Are you pursuing the spider-legged woman?
Yeah, I don't know where. I'm just going to assume that she's heading back toward Hero, or where in the direction where Hero is being held. So I'm just going to follow her.
Okay. So I would say make a survival check at disadvantage to track her in the darkness.
Okay. I'll also say, Rocky, I'm going in for other. Ew. 5.
Okay, you.
I have dark vision.
Well, let's see. The base darkness ability, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chelsea. Doesn't it block dark vision?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Oh, the base dark vision darkness doesn't
I
block.
will read it out for you. I have it right here.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh wait, I'm thinking of magical darkness.
Yeah, a creature with dark vision can see through this darkness.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, we'll use the base ability. Sounds great. So you see exactly where you are headed. Because you technically never lost sight of her. Yeah, so you can see that she's moving through a door that would lead into the back area. So you know that she went that direction, but from there, you do see a bit of a side hallway, and it branches off in one direction and the other. You know that she took the right fork, but now that she has moved past where you lost sight of her, you're not entirely sure where she went from here. You do see that there is a door that goes into a room to the left, and you see that there is a staircase that goes up to the next floor to your right.
Okay, I'm just going to shout out, Hero, if you're here, call out.
Sounds good.
I guess that's, yeah.
Okay. That's the bottom of the round. The one sentinel piece will return with the healer at this time. They will find that the dead body is no longer on the street. The one still there will direct them inside. The other lizard folk is waiting patiently and obeying the law enforcement officers. Hero is awake, so that doesn't need it to happen. Okay, that brings us back up to Rocky. You are enraged. You have dark vision.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I can glow, I believe, as a bonus action.
Yes.
But I think my rage drops at this point if I'm not attacking anyone and no one's attacking me.
I think you're correct. Yes. You can re-engage rage if you choose, but it would take another use of rage.
Right. So at this point, I will not rage any longer. I will, I guess, stumble through the room, and I will yell mentally, "Hero, where are you?"
Okay. So
I want to move. I want to move further into the building, though.
Yes. You want to basically just move up behind Jareth?
Yeah, if I can see him.
I mean, I'm trying to look at it. I think the darkness can be penetrated by magical light.
I'm choosing not to glow.
Okay, you don't want to glow. All right. So then, yeah, you would need to make an insight check to figure out where exactly you're headed.
Okay, insight is nothing. So that's a 10.
Okay. You know forward Forward leads you to a counter, and you remember what this place looked like before it was thrust into darkness. So you know that there is around the counter, but you're not entirely sure where Jareth went.
Yeah. I'll go in as far as I can until I hit something or whatever.
Okay. So you stumble around a little bit. You're a little bit behind Jareth, but you're pretty close. That was Rocky. Down to Hero. Hero, you've just heard two people that you recognize. One is the very loud voice of Jareth shouting out, and you hear the mental signature of Rocky shouting into your mind.
Yay, my friends! Mentally, I will respond to Rocky. Basement! You said there were 3 down here still? One of them, only one had gotten to me at the base of the stairs.
Yes. 2 others close behind.
Then I will also say, there are 3 down here!
All right. And then what do you want to do?
He's in melee with me. Aww. Alright, this place is made of like wood. It's like a wood ceiling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna try and smack him with my quarterstaff.
Nice.
I'm going to put a glow on him if I hit.
Okay.
Oof. I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Do it.
1. Okay, so 17 to hit.
That'll hit.
Thank goodness. Okay, so that was my action. I will use the... Hang on. I'll use the Sunstroke glow effect.
Okay.
It costs 1 spell point. And when you place this glow effect on a creature, you can choose to deal it 3d4 radiant damage. Which I do.
Nice.
The creature takes this damage at the beginning of its rounds for as long as the glow is in effect, and that's a minute of concentration.
Nice.
It can make con saves to negate the damage per round.
Okay.
So
this was what was it called?
Sunstroke is the glow effect.
Got it. Okay. All right. So I take it you deal this damage when it happens.
I believe so. I think I do have to use my bonus action to brighten it, but
right. So it says creature takes this damage at the beginning of its rounds for as long as so at the beginning of its rounds. Got it.
Yeah. I also, as a bonus action, brighten it, so it should go to a 40-foot radius and hopefully shine through the floor. I'm hoping.
Oh man, yeah. The target also gains a level of exhaustion the next time they take damage from the effect. Only 1 level of exhaustion may be applied. Great. Okay, so that's all there. Go ahead and deal your bludgeoning damage.
It's 11 points of radiant damage, actually.
Oh, okay. So, Mook 1.
And it's just, it is just on this one.
Yeah.
Guy.
We'll take a total of how much damage again? Sorry.
11.
11 damage. And the room is now brightened as a sunstroke glow is placed on the nearest Mook.
I'm gonna try to book it up the stairs.
Okay, great. So you head up the stairs because you are moving out of the melee range of one of our dudes. He will attack you. Your AC again is
18.
Let's see if he gets you. Ew, he got you.
Ooh. Well, that didn't last long.
Oof.
Roll ones.
11 points of slashing damage.
Okay, I'm unconscious.
Ah, no.
There was a flash of light, surely.
Yeah, there was. There was a flash of light, and then the light winked out. Okay, so that was Hero. And that brings us down to Ronnie.
Okay. I am going to drop an alchemist ice vial down the chimney to put out the fire.
Okay. I like this idea.
That's cool.
Okay.
Okay. You hear the glass shattering at the base of the chimney, and you smell like that liquid nitrogen smell as it takes effect. And it doesn't change the temperature of the chimney itself, but you do sense that there is no longer any additional heat coming from the base of the fireplace.
Okay. And I'm going to drink a potion of climbing, and I'm going to climb down there.
Nice.
And I looked this one up. I know what this does.
Nice.
So this gives me a climbing speed equal to my walking speed for 1 hour, and I have advantage on strength checks I make to climb.
Okay.
There we go.
So this. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. So this building, as I said, was about 40, 50 feet tall. We'll say that that evens out to about 4 levels, each being about 10 feet tall. So if you have a movement of 30 feet, you've already used your action to drop a thing. So that brings you down 1 floor, 2 floors, 3 floors. So what you see as you climb down this chimney, number one, unfortunately, you take 3 points of fire damage as you're just moving against the chimney and it's burning your hands and feet and knees and such. But every 10 feet, you see that there is an opening that goes to either side, to a room on either side, right? So the chimney actually serves as a fireplace exhaust for all of the levels of this building. It looks like none of the levels have been filled with firewood or anything else. It's just a couple of bars that go across from one side to the other where the wood could be placed. And then the assumption, of course, is that as they burn, they would fall to lower levels and then eventually collect at the bottom. They aren't filled with grates, but they aren't filled with wood either. So it looks like this fireplace system hasn't been used except for the bottom level in some time. So you climb down the first 10 feet and you hang on to that bar and you drop and you climb another 10 feet, the third bar or the second bar, and you drop again. You're now on 1 level up from the floor, from the ground floor. And you can now hear both through the chimney to the first floor and also around the corner and down the stairs, folks coming, making a bunch of noise coming in the direction of the staircase. The other thing that you realize as you arrive at this level, 1 level up from ground level, is that you can hear the metallic ting, 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 ting of something mechanical coming your direction from around the staircase.
Okay.
I think that would conclude your turn.
Yes.
Okay. That was me. Down to the bad guy turn. Bad guy turn. You see coming around the corner, Ronnie, exactly what I've described to other people. Halfling woman, far too young to be a woman and far too old to be a girl. Scaly green bow in her sort of curly blonde hair. She has a lever, sitting in a big sort of mechanical spider chair, and she sees you, narrows her eyes, and says, "More interlopers! I don't like people who mess in my business!" And she will flip open the latch again, and she will turn a dial and press it, and you see what look like gears moving against one another, and then a little extension, little sort of like a nozzle extends from the chair, and she will attack you with a lightning bolt. So you will need to make a, I believe, dexterity saving throw.
Saving throw?
Yep.
12.
Cool.
Oh, that's not D4s.
No, that's not D4s.
It's not D4s?
Nope.
Sounded like them. Oh no.
Jay's got like this, like waiting.
Yeah.
Damage 20 to 30.
I mean, come on. You take 59 points of lightning damage.
I'm going to half that for evasion.
Excellent.
Oh my gosh.
It's like
As
Matrix it.
this halfling woman's chair suddenly generates enough electricity to arc through the room in this crackling, coursing line and shock you, coursing now from you to the metal parts of the fireplace that you're currently in. And then she continues to move out of your range of vision. It appears further on where you would expect another staircase to be, based on where you saw her, where you saw her moving away from. All right, that's the three. Okay, they'll do that. So, cool. That happens. Losing focus on the main level. Okay, good. And then Jareth, you are at the base of the staircase. You just heard a massive electrical discharge coming from the second floor. And you also saw a bright light flashing from the floor below, through the floorboards.
I'm going, seeing as my job here is to find Hero, I'm going to assume the light is Hero, and I'm going to find the way down.
Cool. Give me an investigation check.
How the hell do you cock a dice in a dice tower? It was literally like standing on edge, up against the wall. Okay, that's weird. Investigation. 17. Wait, 19.
19. So now that the darkness has dispersed, it's a lot easier to see where you're going and what you're doing. You see the staircase going up, and you see like what looks like a frequently traveled path of the tiny little metallic feet imprinted in the staircase as it goes up. You also notice that you glance into the room next door to your left, and you see that it's full of a bunch of objects. They're all pushed up against the wall, and there's no sign of any kind of staircase. As you move over to the other room, the one that was down the left fork of the hallway, you do see that it's filled with a bunch of like bolts of cloth on shelves, something very similar to like a wine rack, where it's sort of a crisscross pattern, and they're all sort of filled up in these little slots with cloth and the bolts of cloth and such. You also see large spools of like wire and cord, several nets that have been carefully folded and stored on the walls. There's one corner of this room that is conspicuously absent of anything, and fairly easily you can see that a stool has been placed on top of it, but not well enough to actually hide it from sight. You see that underneath this stool is a very clear trapdoor that has just a simple iron ring that you could easily pull up.
I will go ahead and do that and call out, Rocky, I think I found the way down.
Okay, so you toss the stool aside, you pull the iron ring, and you hear the complaining of the hinges as they loudly announce your presence, and inside you actually hear someone's coming! Quick, Stasher, get ready. So that would probably be your movement and your investigation, and then opening the thing. Bottom of the round, you hear footsteps coming into the main room. Rocky, you're able to turn around and see that the Sentinels of Peace are now sort of looking at the mayhem, and they see the now discarded body of the unconscious lizard folk that you threw against the counter. The healer comes in. My, what has happened here? Oh dear, a dying patient. I must help immediately. And he bends down and begins pulling out his healer's kit and addressing the wounds of the lizard folk. The Sentinels of Peace now basically back together again and on the job. They say, all right, look here. You've already caused enough trouble. Stand down or we're going to have to attack. And then
It was an industrial accident.
Any more lizard folk? Nope, not the lizard folk. Just kidding. Bum around. Yep, that takes care of it. Rocky, you're back up.
Okay. I will say, Jared, she said she's downstairs. Even though he just said that he found the way downstairs. So I will charge after him and try and get as far as I can. The darkness dissipated at this point.
Yeah, you can see where you're going, and you can hear the direction he's coming from. So 5, 10,
right.
15, 20, 25, 30. You should be able to get into the room and see exactly where Jareth intends you to go.
All right. I will go as far as you will allow me to go. Keeping in mind, I think I'm still hasted.
Yeah, you're still hasted.
Right.
You have double move speed.
Yeah, so
Now-
can I, like...
You could theoretically go through this hole. Unfortunately, you are a large-sized creature attempting to go through a medium-sized hole. So you'll have to squeeze.
Okay.
But that's okay because your movement has been doubled, so it just takes you a little bit extra movement. You're able to merge with the floor, basically, and like it's one of those situations where like the slightly overweight guy ends up in a hole that's too big for him, and his belly like prevents him from like going down, and then he kind of just like you hold on to either side of the wall and go, and he goes straight in. And you kind of down the staircase, and you land at the bottom, and the lizard folk who are there waiting for you will attack.
Okay.
What's your AC?
23 at this point, I think.
Man, I even got a 21. Nope. They ting off of your hard gemstone hide, and you arrive at the bottom of the staircase.
All right.
You see Hero has been tied up and set up against one of the barrels.
It is still my turn, though, correct? Like, I haven't done my attack. So
Correct.
I am going to... I will rage again. And I will take a full round action against one of them, and then the extra attack against a different guy. 16 to hit, 21, and another 16.
All three were hit.
All right, so that's 4, 10, 17. That'd be 32 points of damage towards the first guy I'm hitting.
Okay, that's total 43.
13 to hit the second guy.
That will miss.
Okay.
So you swing at the first guy, boom, boom, boom. And then as you swing your arm at the other guy, the post that holds up the staircase, or that is to say that goes from the staircase to the ceiling, crunches as it blocks your blow from hitting the other guy.
Okay. Hold on. Sorry, I'm reading a thing here. Okay, so I would like to use a superiority die to do a maneuver, disarming attack. So when I hit with the weapon attack, I can expend one superiority die and add it to the damage. So that'd be another 4 points of damage to the first guy.
Okay.
and he has to make a DC 18 strength check to not drop his weapon, I believe.
Okay. It looks like he's holding another sort of mostly straight but curved toward the end, thick bladed, single-edged sword, just like the guy outside who had the same kind of thing attached to his arm. This one has a handle, though, and because of that, as you're bashing this guy, he like ring his bell solidly, and he drops his sword to the ground.
Okay.
Yes, he's taking
the first guy's
47
still
damage.
up. All right, action surge.
Ooh, okay.
I'm going to hit the second guy for all 3 hits. Now, do I get an extra action on this one as well, or is that just once per turn?
I think it just adds an additional attack for the turn.
Okay.
You
All right, so it'd
want
be
the attack? No. Okay.
20 to hit.
We'll hit.
19 and
We'll
another 20.
We'll hit.
So that's 9, 18, 19, 24, 24, 34, 39 points of damage to that guy.
All right.
And that should be my turn, I believe.
49 damage to Mook number 2. Excellent. What is the name of the haste that you put on him, or is it actual, like, legitimate haste?
It's in the time sphere. It's
Right.
Under alter time.
Okay.
And it's like it's right there on the first page.
Okay. Gotcha. An additional action. Oh, an additional action can only be used to take the attack. One weapon attack only. Great. When the effect ends, which is just as long as you concentrate. Great. Yeah. Okay. Solid. Okay. So that was another. You kind of maneuver a little bit now that you kind of shoulder check the guy who's got no sword now, and you get around that pillar and you boom, boom, boom the guy on the head, and his kind of neck just goes. That would be the end of Rocky's turn. Coming down to Hero. Go ahead and make another con save.
Uh, 15.
You come to consciousness as you realize you are once again bound in ropes.
God damn it.
It is now your turn.
I see, and I'm seeing Rocky just like wailing on these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. You know what? I will cheer Rocky on.
Yeah.
While I try to get out of these again.
Cool. So another athletics check. This is a different rope check. Oh my gosh.
Athletics or acrobatics?
I'll just skip the time here. You realize that all they've done really is just wrapped it around you. They never even bothered to tie knots.
Awesome. Well,
So you kind of just like shake them off.
kick that stuff off me.
Yeah.
Did that take an action then?
Nah.
Cool, because I want to.
They literally rolled a natural one on their knot check.
Okay, so hold on. Since I just made a save to wake up, do I have 1 hit point?
Sure.
Cool. Love that. I want to try to gang up on this guy from behind that Rocky's hitting.
Okay. So you stand up, you shake off the ropes. You should have tied me up better this time. Poof, and you make your attacks.
Why not? I'll do a radiant light sphere destructive blast.
Okay.
So 21 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay, so that is 3d8 points of radiant damage.
Oof.
And this guy has a disadvantage on all attack rolls until the end of my next turn.
Okay. Did you hit Mook 2 or Mook 3, the one that's closest to you?
Whichever one. Which one was the one that Rocky was fighting?
So he hit Mook 1. That's the one closest to him. You don't really have you can't get close enough to hit him.
Oh, okay.
You could hit Mook 2. He took 39 damage.
I'll hit 2 from
Okay.
behind. Smack him over the head.
How much total?
11 points of radiant damage.
Okay, so total of 50 then. Great. So you get up and you start punching this guy. Smack, 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 pop, pop, and he takes the radiant damage. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Are you glowing him at all, or are you just hitting with radiant?
No, it was an action to use destructive blast, so that's
Okay.
what I can do.
Great. So Ronnie, you're up. You just saw Spider Leg Lady skitter away, and after she got done shocking you for crap tons of damage, you hear a bunch of commotion going on downstairs. What do you do?
First, I'm going to drink my greater healing potion.
Okay.
That sucked.
Yeah, that was a lot of damage.
And that's +4, so 16 points of damage. Healed. That's better. All right, so the halfling lady just kept on going her merry way.
Yeah, she's continuing to, like, it's like one of those situations where the staircase always ends up in the same position as you go up. So she climbed up the staircase, and then she went around the corner, zapped you, went around the corner again, and you assume is either going into another room on this level or climbing the staircase some more.
Okay. Well, I'm going to climb out of the fireplace and go down the stairs.
Okay. So that'll go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Will get you about halfway down the staircase.
Okay. Pull out my my punching dagger, and I'm gonna let it cut my finger.
Ooh.
And I'm going to do the blood tinning on it, which I just forgot what it's called. A crimson rite on it.
Yes. So what damage type are you assigning to it?
Ice.
Ice. Nice. Okay. Your freezing blood coats your knife, and it is infused with cold. Excellent. All right. That concludes Brian's turn. Lizard folk. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Okay. The one guy who hasn't been damaged in the back turns to you, Hero, and oh no. Oh shoot. Okay. Like it probably doesn't matter. Yeah. I mean, you're at 1 hit point, so.
Did he crit?
He crits. So what happens is he turns your direction, sees what you're doing to his buddies and what your friends are doing to his buddies, and he's like, You caused enough trouble. Sit down. And he lifts up his huge, like, clawed foot, and he pushes you straight in the chest and rips at your chest at the same time. You take lots of damage. You go unconscious again, and you are pushed 5 feet as you slam against the set of barrels and fall back to the ground. I haven't had you, because they're trying to subdue you before, I haven't had you make any death saving throws. Mm-hmm. This one will require a death saving throw.
Okay. Right now, or when my turn comes back around?
I'm not sure how those work, so we'll save it until your turn. So that was the one lizard folk. The other two failed their morale checks, and they The one who doesn't have a weapon leaves it on the ground and flattens himself up against the wall. The other one is going to just drop his weapon and attempt to climb from the floor onto the staircase, where like there's like a single board that keeps the staircase stable, and he kind of climbs like around that and up so that he can escape. So he's going to make his acrobatics check to maneuver through. He gets stuck, so he ends up wasting his entire turn trying to move onto the staircase the wrong direction. That's those, and then finally, okay, and then that's the end of the lizard folks' turn. Jareth.
I'll look over at the Sentinels of Peace that have entered the room.
Uh-huh.
Oh, good. You're here. Thank God. You can help us. She's down here. And then I'll jump down the hole.
Great, cool. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Oh, I guess that isn't too bad. A 14.
Okay.
I rolled a 2.
You appeal for their help and quickly dash down the staircase.
And as I'm falling, or as I'm going down, I'm drawing my, after I'm out of their eyesight, I'm drawing my hand crossbow and shooting the nearest lizard guy in the face.
Awesome. The one that's attempting to climb onto the staircase, he's like got both arms and like his face just like halfway onto the staircase, and he sees you come down. He's like, no, ah! And you fire at him.
Natural 20.
Oh no! Okay.
I was gonna be like, I was gonna like hope I miss and go, oh, I'm sorry, you're giving up, but okay.
Oh, man. No, that doesn't make any sense. Let's try this one. Oh no! Okay, do your damage.
Okay, is it still doubled?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, what is that?
This is Mook
A
2.
D6.
Oh no. Oh no.
Okay, so that's let's see, it's 11, 14 points of damage.
Okay, so what happens is this. Jareth has been reminded in this moment of the fact that his companions were deafened in their previous encounter, and that single thought tends to sort of float straight to the forefront of his mind. And as he sees the lizard folk turn his head and attempt to squeeze it back out of the staircase, he aims and all too well fires his crossbow bolt straight into the ear hole of the lizard folk and causes it to go through his head and out the other ear hole with a spray of gray matter. And the lizard folk slumps down the staircase and then flops on the floor.
He's fine.
Mook 2 is
He'll get better.
gone. His name was Gerald. Gerald. Okay, so that was Jared's turn.
His wallet falls out and pictures of his eggs and family.
Bottom of the round. Both of the Sentinels of Peace come in. The healer does his work. And that's not good. Let's see how dude's doing. Okay. Oof. Aha. Great. So that's fine. And then so the Sentinels of Peace join you at the top of the staircase. They look down and they see the trail of blood left by Gerald as his head sort of slumped down the staircase. And he says, one of them say, all right, we can see that this isn't going to end peacefully. All of you are going to have to come with us. Franklin, right away. And he will retract the sword the light sword coming from the dove's eyes, it will revert back into a staff, and he will reach behind him and grab something from his belt, toss it down the staircase, and everybody within that area will need to make a wisdom saving throw.
Me too? I think.
No, because you're unconscious already.
I was gonna say, okay.
That's not something I get advantage on from the haste, is it?
No, those are dex saving throws.
Okay.
I'm wise, but faster.
I'm going to use my inspiration.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh, for one more. I got a 15 total then.
Okay.
Oh, wait, wisdom saving?
Uh-huh.
Yes, 15 total.
18.
18. Jareth, you will actually get advantage on this roll.
I did get advantage. I already have that.
Oh, you already have advantage?
As like a class feature, I believe, or something.
Ooh, oh,
I have advantage on wisdom saves.
Okay. So, okay, and then the lizard folk who is against the wall and surrendering will fail. The one that just kicked hero will fail. And then the one that's dead is dead. So what happens is there's this bright flash of purple light, and you see exploding out of this central sort of metal orb with runes inscribed on the outside. The casing just sort of like it's like a spring-loaded ball that sort of like unhinges itself, and then out of it explodes sort of purple tethers of force that begin to wrap themselves around everybody in the room. What happens is that you, Jareth, are able to shrug off the tendrils. You suspect also, because you possess the Fate Stone, they actually they repel themselves from you as if the similarly aligned magnetic sort of poles. However, the two lizard folk and Rocky are all held in place by the equivalent of a hold person spell. And so everyone that failed their check is held. That is the end of the nope, there's one more. Right, because he had great. Yeah. Yeah. Jareth, please give me an opposed athletics or acrobatics check.
$15.
Ooh, okay. You feel the second sentinel coming down the stairs and grabbing you by the arms and shoulders, and you wiggle and wiggle and you try to escape, but it seems that this guy has had professional training on how to subdue people, and you are restrained as he puts you in a full Nelson. That brings us to the top of the round. Rocky, you are held. You may make an additional wisdom saving throw. At the end of your turn, I think.
19.
Will succeed, so you are freed at the end of your turn. Hero, you are unconscious. Death saving throw.
12.
Okay, you make a success. Yay! Ronnie, you come down the stairs finally, and you see a healer in the main room attending to a now conscious lizard folk. And then in the other direction, you hear a bunch of hubbub and commotion as you see a sentinel of peace at the top of a staircase leading down, looking down the staircase, of course, and you know, sort of watching what's going on there. And of course, you hear all the commotion and stuff coming from downstairs anyway.
Okay, I'll go over to the Sentinel of Peace, and I'll retract my blade back.
Okay. This is, I think, the
What
first
do
time.
you think I was gonna stab this?
I think this is the first time we've had to use this ability. You get advantage on sleight of hand checks to hide it. So go ahead and make a sleight of hand check at advantage.
Advantage?
I've been playing Assassin's Creed lately, so.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad I had advantage. 24.
Okay. The sentinel piece hears the of the knife being pulled back into the bracer on your arm, and he immediately looks over and goes, "What was that?"
And I just kind of click my armor onto itself, just make a similar sound. It's like, I just bumped myself. Did you hear find the screaming lady?
Oh, yes, we're taking care of the situation right now. Listen, we're not sure why you're down here, but if the chimneys are clean, you can go. This is a crime scene at this point.
Does she need any help? I have some healing in case I fall and hurt myself in the chimney.
Well, I don't think that'll be necessary, ma'am. I'm sure you'll be safer outside, and we'll take care of what's going on in here. Thank you very much for your help, though.
Can I see past him at all?
I mean, it's kind of a difficult angle. There's stuff in the way on the one side, and he's already blocking most of the entry. You can see some of the staircase, but not really much of what's going on now.
Oh, okay.
I love watching Ronnie try to like diplomat herself through this kind of stuff. So
yeah.
I know she doesn't do it that often. This is why she's
That's
not
why
very good
I'm
at
loving it.
Okay. When I heard commotion down the stairs. I know that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's a full-on battle happening in the basement.
Hmm. I think I'm just going to try to keep his attention away from the basement for now, and I'm just going to keep saying, "Are you sure?"
Okay. So
like
I'll say,
him, I guess.
yeah, I'll say make a deception check. Let's see how well you can pull this off.
Meh. 15.
He looks over at you and he says, "You know, have I seen you before? Are you from that tavern? Tell me, I know you from somewhere. You must be Laurel, right? No, Matilda, right?
Which tavern are you talking about?
Oh, the Warren just next door.
I don't think I've ever been to the Warren.
Are you sure? I'm sure you have amazing dance moves, and may I say, I really admire the way you can put down the drinks. I mean, I've never seen anybody be able to stand up against the brute that comes in there on Tuesdays. Listen, I know this isn't really the best time, but would you be interested in coming tonight? Maybe they have a singing contest, and we can maybe. I hear they've got really nice bards.
Maybe, but this really isn't the best time? Aren't there people in trouble?
Okay, so that conversation continues. That's Ronnie's turn. The lizard folk are bound. They will, at the end of their turn, make saving throws to see if they get out. The one against the wall does. He continues to surrender. The dead one is dead. He makes a saving throw with an arrow through his brain. And then that happens, and it comes down to Jareth's turn. You are in a full Nelson, sir.
Good move, sir. I'm not doing anything. It's okay. I mean, I'm not going to run away. Could you please see to my friend down there, though? I think I saw her in the back. She didn't look so good.
So then I hear you saying that you'll come peacefully.
Yes.
Very good. If you don't do anything else, he'll go ahead and pass
I'll
you.
actually let go of my crossbow.
Okay. Yeah, so that falls to the staircase and kind of clatters down several stairs. And he says, "All right, well, come with me. We'll take care of this immediately. Jones, get the healer." And he passes you up the stairs, and he looks away from Ronnie for a moment, and he says, "Well, look, ma'am, I'll duty calls. I'll have to We'll you know what? I'll tell you what. Just stick around outside. We can chat later. Yeah, no, I got it. And so he'll take you, Jareth, and he'll lead you out front, and he'll say, "Listen, Mortimer, downstairs. We've got somebody in need."
Mortimer.
Thank you. Yeah, so you see the healer pass you by, Ronnie, on his way downstairs, and it looks like the one sentinel piece that had Jareth is just standing there watching over everything, and he says, "Yes, this direction down here. This woman appears to be unconscious." So at this point, there's a held lizard, and I think everybody's either unconscious or fled, except for that one lizard folk. And as soon as he sees sort of the writing on the wall, he's not going to bother fighting anymore. So, Chelsea, go ahead and just keep giving me death saving throws. Well, give me one more, and then the healer will attend to you.
17.
Great. You make a success, and then the healer comes and tends to your wounds, patches you up before you actually die. And you're all able to, the law enforcement will attempt to bring everyone in. The lizard folk will 100% comply. Jareth and Rocky, if you also comply, they will probably be more favorable toward you. You're welcome to do whatever you'd like, though. Jareth, sounds like you're continuing to comply. Do you go along with what they're doing, Rocky?
Yeah, if I see someone healing Hero, I will calm down.
Okay. So you see that Hero comes back to consciousness, and you're able to have a conversation with her. She looks pretty beat up. Like she's got a big black eye on one side, and several claw marks in her chest, and other sort of just general bumps and bruises. But she's awake.
Ow.
They'll lead everybody out of doors, and they'll get, if you allow them to, they will take both Hero and the Eddie over to the healer station, one street over. They offer you like a cot. They can lay you down on a cot, Hero, or you can walk as you choose.
No, I want to go with my friends.
Okay. They say, well, we understand if you want to go seek your own medical treatment elsewhere. We just want to make sure that you know that we'll need a statement from you about what went on here today. We'll be in touch. We understand you'll need to recover a little bit.
Great, thanks. Wonderful job.
Of course, we did the best we could. We hope that you recover well, and if there's anything you need, just let us know.
Uh-huh. I'm gonna go, lean on Rocky. You know what? Maybe I'm not even gonna ask. I'm just gonna, climb up on Rocky's shoulder and just
I'm just gonna stick my head back in the door. I dropped my crossbow. Could one of you pick it up?
We'll need to take that in as evidence just in case any of the ammunition matches.
Matches what? What is it not gonna match?
Well, different. Look, you can come down to the station and pick it up later. We'll have to document it.
Fine. I mean, will it make it any faster if I tell you that yes, I did shoot that guy in the head?
A confession of murder would definitely be useful to us, but unfortunately,
no. I'm helping my friend, the one who's bloody pulp that you're hauling out right now.
Well, whether or not it was in self-defense, we'll make sure that all the facts are presented.
Sorry, I have to do this. You shoot them through the head, too.
Okay.
All right, so since
Would you like to hear a song?
Since Rocky and Jareth were directly involved in the actual fight, since they were the ones actually fighting, and they saw you doing that, they're going to have you guys accompany them to the local Sentinel station. Everybody else is free to go where they wish. What do you want to do at this point?
So wait.
As they walk off with their evidence, or if Can I use my last warpstone ability and teleport object and teleport his crossbow so it like they don't find it and then I teleport it to me and put it in my bag of holding?
Wow. So do you have the teleport object talent? Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's the last thing I can do.
You know what? I'm not worried about it. Sure, you teleport it into your hands while you're standing behind an alley or something, and yeah.
Bag of
We'll say like a sleight of hand check with advantage to make sure they don't realize what's going
on. 14.
Okay, so yeah, so as one of them stuffs it into one of his like evidence bags, he like puts the flap over the bag, and immediately, as soon as the flap hits, it's gone, and he doesn't realize that it's missing. He just walks away and doesn't seem to be fazed by the fact that it's no longer there.
So Rocky and Jareth are being taken for questioning?
Yes, they're going to need to make statements about what happened and what they were doing, and
Ronnie just kind of vanished into an alley.
Well, I mean, yeah, she wasn't involved in the fighting as far as they knew.
Okay, well, in that case, Hero will stay with Rocky and Jareth.
That's what actually happened.
So I would also, after I get the crossbow, I would like to go up to what's his nuts. And like I was on the roof when everything started and I heard everything. Do you need a statement from me?
The one guy, Jones, looks your direction and he says, "Oh, well, yeah, Franklin, we need a statement, right? We need a statement. She needs to come with us to the station, right? She's helping. She needs to come with us to the station, right? Yeah, no, yeah. He's saying that we really need you to come with us so that we can get your statement. We've got like fruit juices and I mean water if you're into that. That's a thing.
You're into water.
We have some like biscuits. We had some biscuits and gravy in the. They're still there in the lounge, right? Yep. Yeah, we got some biscuits and gravy. Have you eaten breakfast?
Yeah, I just really want to give my statement, make sure everyone knows the truth about what happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. We'll take your statement. 100%. Yes.
And I look over at Hero and I just mouth, "No, side quest."
And on that note, we'll go ahead and end session for today. Thanks for playing, guys. Woo!
I am so sorry, y'all. I just wanted to help someone.
Well, it didn't
That's
help.
what you get for helping people.
I won't tell your story.
Apparently.
Jeez.
It's all good. I'm getting to exercise my evil chops a little bit.
Yeah, so. This is an interesting side of Rocky.
I feel like
no good deed ever goes unpunished.
I feel like we haven't had like this kind of combat since like the last time I really remember something like this was the tower where Rosling died. Where it was kind of a clusterfuck, but it wasn't. It was very D&D. I don't know.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, there was a lot going on in a lot of different rooms. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh man. No, I mean you had a good approach, Jareth. That was going well. It was just you only charmed one of them instead of both, and the other guy kept trying to be like devil's advocate. And
I can't charm both. I can only charm one at a time.
Yeah.
I think. Oh my God! Hang on. I'm an idiot.
It's too late.
I know.
Well, Jareth has now learned.
I don't think I can. I think I can only target one at a time.
Is there maybe like a
there's like a mass thing you can add on to it, but I don't think I have that. I'll look into it. No.
Yeah. So anyway, so awesome. Okay, well, thanks for playing, guys. I know it's later than usual, but I appreciate you sticking around. It's been fun.
All right, night, everybody.
Night, everybody.
Night.
Thank you, Jay.
Yeah, thanks, Jay.